Hello, hello. How is everyone tonight? Hey, that music should have faded out. Come on, StreamYard, whatever. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. My name is Eric, and this is my good friend Foster's. This is Australian for bear, as the commercials state. My take on Foster's is that it's the Americans' idea of what an Australian beer is. Because if you talk to somebody like Mark Reed, and you say, "Hey, have you had a Foster's before?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I think I've seen maybe one of those around at one point," because it's just not common over there. So it's kind of funny. I think I've been lied to by those commercials. Capitalism and commercials lying to you. Who would have thought? There we go. Anyway, yeah. So tonight, no real like concrete plan for tonight. The only plan I have is here's my idea for this stream tonight. It was kind of spur of the moment. I kind of thought about it last night. And I said to myself, you know what? I don't have like a way to um, feed myself kind of the slop of Christian apologetics, like on like a steady diet. It's always been kind of through the lens of other atheist YouTube channels. Like I'll be watching Apologia, or I'll be watching Sir Sick, or I'll be watching Zod, and then I can, I'm familiar with Christian apologetics through that kind of lens, but I don't really have like my own actual feed of Christian apologists on my YouTube channel, or at least, like on my YouTube feed. And so I figured, hey, you know what? Tonight I want to build a list. Basically, I want to train. So what I did was I created a brand new YouTube channel, and this is not one anybody subscribes to. It's just a personal channel for me, and I'm going to subscribe to maybe almost as many Christian apologists that I can with it. I want this to turn into just a river of bullshit that I can just tune into and tune out of when I need to. And the reason behind that is I have 3 YouTube accounts. I have my personal one, which is where all my geek stuff is. Like it's all my Star Trek, Star Wars videos, Dungeons and Dragons, anything that's like fun to watch, where it's just kind of away from work or counter apologetics or apologetics. That's kind of where I go to just, hey, I just want to listen to just something for entertainment, and just, like when I'm working, or, doing the dishes, or, things like that. And then I have my Skeptics and Scoundrels channel, which is this one here that you're watching. And this one is what's actually subscribed to all of the other counter apologists channels, like the ones I mentioned before and more. The Line, Alex O'Connor, you can think of all the really, big time, counter apologists and skeptics and rationalists and atheists on YouTube. And I'm probably subscribed to them. So anyway, so tonight I want to actually just start building the playlist, and I want you guys to help me. So if anybody wants to, and also, I have the YouTube link. I'm sorry, I have the StreamYard link up there. If anybody wants, if a Christian happens to wander by, just want to call in, we can take a little bit to talk to them. But for the most part, that's not going to be the thrust of tonight's stream. Tonight's just us hanging out and having fun. I'm going to be drinking some beers. And yeah, I want your suggestions on who to subscribe to. And we're talking about, I mean, this YouTube account is fresh. There's no subscriptions. We're going to be going through the whole spectrum, from the oily residue top of the barrel to all the way down to like the deep dark sludge tar at the bottom of the barrel. Like anything goes. So yeah, let's get started. And if somebody wants to like just come in and just hang out too, like we've had Niddy and Alma past streams. Feel free to come back in if you don't want to, and you sit this one out. That's fine too. But anyone's invited to come in, and just we can go through these apologists channels. I'll subscribe my new channel to them, and we can maybe watch a clip or two and see exactly where we go with it. Anyway, before we begin though, let's say hi to some people. Prag, awesome as always. Let me get into StreamYard. Prag's awesome as always. I think she just went to bed. She's just everywhere, supporting everyone she can, and she's just the greatest. And she actually has her own channel too. And I just looked at it just a few minutes ago, and it's a bunch of it's a bunch of just like catfish and fishing videos and stuff. Like I don't know, she's got to be somewhere down in the U.S. South because it looks like the Everglades or something in like Louisiana or something like that. I visited down there once when I did hurricane relief work. So I visited the Everglades, and I also kind of just got familiar with the surrounding area while I was down there. So anyway, yeah, if, pop over to her channel if you want to get some cool fishing or nature type videos in. It's pretty good stuff. Sam D Coffee said that he can't hang around tonight, but he will try to watch tomorrow. So thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. James Apperson, my newly discovered fellow XJW, welcome. Glad to see you. Also, this is my first swig of a beer tonight. I held off all day drinking just so I can save up for this. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a Saturday night. We're gonna have some fun. Can't wait. Tux TV, welcome. Eddie Dean, he's got Heineken and shot of rum pies. Oh, okay. I've never had a rum pie. I take it that's probably a rum. Does it taste like a pie? I'm really curious about this. It's kind of reminiscent of a flaming Dr. Pepper. I don't know if you ever had one of those. That's a it's been a while, but I think it's a shot of Hennessy. It's lit on fire, and like literally the shot is the top of the shot's burning. You have a pint of Guinness mixed with something else, and you take that burning shot, you drop it in the larger cup of Guinness, and then you chug it. And it's just a highly alcoholic Dr. Pepper. At least tastes like one. So, but yeah, Eddie, let me know what a shot of rum pie is. I'm interested what that is. We got Cuddly. Welcome. Sapir Odd. Hello. Welcome. Niddy, my main man here as usual. Thanks. Maya. Hey, Maya. How you doing? I remember, Maya, you mentioned, I think maybe a couple weeks ago, you wanted to get me signed up for another episode of Bad Science Sunday. If we're still up for that, just reach out to me. Let me know. I'm available just about any Sunday. I had a great time last time, so I'm really looking forward to the next one. So yeah, reach out and let me know. Spooky Bed Hair. Hello. Sam, I knew you couldn't stay away. Just got that magnetic personality. It's going to pull you right back in. He's like, you know what? Sleep's not all that important. I'm going to watch a live stream about some guy slowly getting inebriated and complaining about Christians. That's a good use of your time. It's so good to have you here. Thanks. Alma, welcome. Oh, Eddie's got his first suggestion. Okay, we'll put that aside, Eddie, and we'll get to that here in a moment. I'm going to say hi to the rest of the folks that are here. Bob avec Shiva. That sounds like a French name. How tall are you? Hope it doesn't sound weird or anything, but I'm making an atheist YouTuber's height chart. Interesting. I would be interested to see that chart once it's done, like kind of see where the distribution is. And if you're an artist, an artist, you can like have a bunch of atheist YouTubers like up against like what's that suspect wall with all their heights there, and like it's like a police, like a lineup. That's what it's called. Answer your question. I am 6'3". I am 6'3". I'm approximately 190 pounds, so I'm pretty tall and lanky. Like you can kind of see, not really much there. But yeah, so I'm a fairly tall guy, 6'3". My little brother is almost 3 years younger than I am, and he's 3 inches taller than I am. He's a pretty striking guy when he walks into a room. So yeah, and yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I like him a lot. We've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike lately. I just built him a computer, and we've been playing a ton of Counter-Strike because we played when we were kids, and so he's enjoying that now. Pepper Roberts, hello, welcome. Yeah, I'm sure, Niddy, you're probably a well of knowledge when it comes to this. So let's. Christ brings a sword. Welcome. Nice to have you back. We talked a few days ago. There are no figs in figgy pudding. Well, I want my money back then. If that's the case. It's kind of like when you go to KFC and get a honey packet, and you look at the ingredients and it's not honey. Yeah. Rum pie is Rumpel Minze. You now have further confused me on this. I'm going to look this up. Hold on. So Rumpel Minze. Rumpelminze is a German-style liquor brand best known for peppermint schnapps. The brand is owned by holding company Diego, based in London. Cool. That's good to know. I wonder if I can find some around here. I don't normally drink hard alcohol. I just never really developed into that kind of a drinker. I'm been almost purely a beer person almost my entire life. But I'll try it out one day. We have a Total Wine, and we have some other kind of more high-end, diverse liquor stores rather than just kind of what you find at the supermarket. Hey, drunkenness is so much cooler than resting. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, right? You're kind of shutting your brain down. It's the same. You'll feel fine in the morning, trust me. And Boba Vex says, "Holy fuck! I thought you've been like 5'10" or something." No, I'm 6'3". I know it's hard to tell because I'm just talking head on YouTube, but yeah, I am 6'3". And in the tradition of talking heads, you don't know if I'm wearing pants or not. So think about that while we're watching everything tonight. Okay, cool. I think that's caught up in everything. So yeah, good to have everyone here, and we'll kind of get started here. So, before we do that, I should probably pin the StreamYard in the chat. I don't think I did that earlier. Sorry, I'll do that right now. Once my brain remembers how to do it. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And how do I pin? Oh, I think I know what happened. I logged out of my Skeptics and Scoundrels account, so I can't pin until I log back into it. So give me a moment here. I think this should hopefully work. Yeah, that was definitely it. Pin message. Cool, pin the message. Anybody's welcome to come in and hang out if you want. If not, that's fine too. All right, so we're going to get started. Bible Bunk is my new channel's name, which nobody subscribed to it. I mean, if you subscribe to it, whatever, there's never going to be a content post there. You're just kind of just wasting your time if you do it. Cool, let's do that. And then I want the better layout, one that's not as weird. There we go. And let's make sure everything's here. Niddy's connecting in. Hey, Niddy. Welcome.
Yo.
All right. My StreamYard's being really weird here. So give me 1 second, guys. I have some technical issues here. Pull this down here. In fact, I'm going to do it this way. Do that. And then I reset up my mirroring software. I did just download OBS Studio today. I'm going to start learning how to use it. I used it a long time ago, but I forgot everything about it. So I have to do it again. Because yeah, I have a Stream Deck here. I want to start using. I want to start having like some clips and sound effects and just add some pizzazz to the stream.
Excellent.
Yeah. Probably grab Apologies for the Bible tells me so jingle, because he invited everybody to use it, so I'm going to use it because we really should normalize that. We really should normalize creepy ice cream music when it comes to referencing the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Prague, thank you so much. Yeah, that's my Patreon. Yeah, I got to self-promote more. Thank you, Prague. So yeah, I have a Patreon account. There's free membership tier, so hop over there and just click the free button. Doesn't cost you anything. I'm going to be posting there pretty regularly, kind of behind the scenes stuff. And if you do pick one of the paid tiers, you can have everything from a community direct chats with me. If you go up higher in the tiers, up to like the $10 per video tier, which videos only drop maybe once a month, maybe. So you only get charged once a month if you were in like a $10 tier. But yeah, will be like private one-on-one chats with me, VIP events. I'm planning on doing like a bi-yearly. That's it. It's once every 6 months. Yeah, bi-yearly patron hangout where we all just no streaming, no publicity, no being on public on the internet. We just all get together and just hang out and chat and play Among Us or talk about things and all that. So yeah, that's my patron. There's Niddy's channel. So yeah, go subscribe to him. And Niddy, you have a new channel too? You want to tell us about it?
Yeah. Okay, so the idea of that channel is that on my main channel, I'll invite people on to do prompted discussions or hypothetical questions. And when there's just something that's hilarious or insightful, I will clip them out and put them onto that channel. So you're
Very cool.
featured on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to go take a look.
The question, what would be your exotic dance move?
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We were because that question went into basically pole dancing positions, and then I found
Yeah,
one that I was like, oh, I like this one because I found a website with all of them on there. So I was like, oh,
I
this is a
came up with
hard
my
choice here.
own
What was the one you came up with? You invented one all of your own?
coconut manslide.
Oh no. Care to demonstrate? You have a pole nearby? We can all
No,
wait.
it's not. It doesn't require a poll. That's the best part.
Oh no. Okay.
Anyway,
Well, hey, if I decide I want my stream or channel demonetized, I'll ask you to perform it for us.
you betcha. I could do it.
All right. So we can see here. So I'm sharing my screen now. Bible Bunk. This is just like I said, there's a YouTube channel that I have just to keep all this stuff separate from all my other stuff. And yeah, nothing's here. I AI generated a Bible in a bog. I just basically went to Midjourney and I said, "Give me a Bible in a bog," and it gave me a Bible in a bog. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it worked out pretty well. So yeah, if we go to home, I hopefully have not polluted my feed at all. I think I accidentally navigated to one apologetic video accidentally with this account active, but I went to the history and I told it to delete, and that should hopefully bring it back to just like its pristine default state. So anyway,
Okay.
let's start with what Eddie recommended. Eddie, bam,
Well, I've got so
first
many
one.
tabs open.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, we'll alternate between your tabs and recommendations and maybe ones that I spot, just so you aren't dominating it. Because I'm sure you could just wipe out this stream in like a half hour. Do this one and this one and this one and this one. In fact, I'm just gonna send you a text document and just we can.
I found a couple with under 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's one of the things too. Like I'm not sure. So my channel's not all that big. I'm approaching 6,000 subscribers, but I don't want to elevate like lesser channels, apologetic channels, and give them any type of popularity. Like I want them to stay small because obviously I don't want the Christian message to be spread because I think it's false. So I'm interested in looking at mostly just channels at my level or above, but I will subscribe to those lower channels because you never know. Maybe just a channel just drop just something that's just too irresistible to not address.
I'm not sure if Logic links off to smaller channels, but he'll talk about them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought about that
exactly what
too.
he'll do.
I thought about that too. Hey, Alma, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I thought about that. Yeah, pretty good. I thought about that too. I'm wondering. I don't know. I don't want to call it like a. It's kind of not a dilemma, but just a question of okay, I'm directly showing another video and I'm actively criticizing it. I really should link to it because the viewer of that video deserves to go to the source material and see for themselves whether or not I'm dishonestly editing thing or
They're
anything like that.
crazy.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of a conundrum there, which is like I don't want to promote these channels and make them bigger, but maybe one might come along and just says something that's like so audacious that I have to tear into it, and then if I do that, I have to link to it because I won't feel good otherwise.
Okay, I get.
So that's just me though. But anyway, if a Christian ever says, "Hey, atheists don't have morality," that's my morality right there, tugging at my heartstrings.
Well, I'll punch down. I don't care.
All right.
Oh, he's complaining about Little Nas.
What's that?
He's complaining about the new video of Little Nas X. Have you seen that video? The new one?
Off the Crib is?
No, Little Nas X has a new video where Little he's Nas. Basically Jesus.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
All right. Here.
I remember this guy.
Yeah, throw that in the chat, Alma, and just so we don't forget about it, and we'll get to it here. Yeah, I'm gonna look at Eddie's first, and then we'll look at one of Niddy's, and then we'll look at yours. So Off the Kirb Ministries, 2.16 million subscribers. How have I never heard of this guy?
Wow.
What the heck? Okay, well he's my first one. Subscribed. So what is he all about? Do we have an about here? Off the Kirb Ministry shares Christian motivational videos, street preaching content, encouragement, God's grace, and more to help you grow as a believer through the power of the Holy Spirit as you serve Jesus. Okay, so he's basically evangelical. He's in Lancashire, England. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's take a look at one of his shorts. Does he do shorts?
He doesn't do live.
Yeah, it looks like no lives. He has one live from 5 years ago talking. I guess it's him and his significant other talking about themselves, Q&A. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at one of these and just kind of see exactly what he's about, and we'll move on to the next one. So I'm just going to pick one here at random. These hand ones look really weird. And it might be muted. Yeah, it might be muted. Give me a moment here. Fun trick here. You guys can't see my address bar, but when you click on a short and you look at the address, it'll say, youtube.com/shorts/ and then the ID of the short.
Mm-hmm.
If you go up there and you change shorts to video, hit enter, it will open the short in standard, in the typical YouTube video. So then you can pause it. You can hit period and comma to go frames forward, go frames back.
Oh, that's great.
And you can see how it's muted here. So you can unmute it there. So I just unmuted it. So now if I go back, it should hopefully...
This little girl was keeping a shocking secret. The other kids at school teased her. She refused to hold her mother's hand, and she actually hated her mom because of this one secret.
What's the secret? Let's guess.
The secret.
Her mom has like a pull my finger thing. Just like
one too many pull my finger jokes.
Whoop! Like
the mom does not love Jesus.
That might be it. That might be it. I like Niddy's idea of the pull my finger thing. It might have been just one too many. I don't know. She's seen demons. It's a long shot, but I was
the mom is a demon.
Mom is a demon, or the mom has demons around her because of some sin or because of something she bought at a garage sale.
Yeah, most likely. Like she has a doll or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so what was yours, Niddy? Do you have a guess?
Instant stigmata.
Instant stigmata? What's that?
Yeah, she touches her mom's hand, and her hand just like turns in her like lower wrist turns into Jesus and bleeds just all over.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she's allergic to human touch.
No, just her mom.
Little girl's father.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Just her mom.
She's allergic to just her mom. Okay.
Father asked her why she was so mean to her mother. With tears in her eyes, she blurted out, "I hate Mummy because she has ugly hands. Mummy's hands look like that because when you were just a baby, our house was on fire. So Mummy had to climb up a red-hot pipe to save you. The pipe was so hot that Mummy's hands have been unrecognizable ever since." As soon as she heard this, the little girl ran into her mother's arms and said, "You have the most beautiful hands in all of the world." Big news, Jesus also has beautiful hands, where he had them pierced to rest.
Not even an argument, it's just a claim. Oh my God.
But by the way, Jesus's hands is like a too big of a generalization of where he would have been hung on the cross. It's actually through the
wrists,
two bones here. Yeah, because there's no way your hand would support the weight. So just
and that's what the Jehovah's Witnesses, even though they go with like the torture stake instead of the cross. Yeah, every depiction is Jesus is like pinned like to his wrist. Yeah. So is this just a feel good channel for Christians to feel good, I guess?
He does some other cringy stuff, but
yeah.
I think it's like supporting that thing now that, oh, you're so special, that look, this humble, awesome guy gave his life for you.
I guess, but like, can you imagine like an atheist, like, or a skeptic putting out a video like this? Like, I spend the first 80 seconds, or these are a minute long. Spend their first 50 seconds painting an anecdote, tugging your heartstrings, sad piano music in the background, and then I link it to something that's just a claim, like I don't know, like let's say like I have a similar thing, and I'm talking about how a girl is growing up and undergoing, like, just the pains of maturing and the pains of developing into an adult and all this stuff, and then I link it to, and you can feel the same way if you leave Christianity, but it's okay because you'll grow out of it. Like, how vapid would that become? Like, it's just, it would just, people would laugh at us if we did something like this.
Yeah, or it's like, you know how Jimmy, he just loved his grandmother, and his grandmother, passed away so tragically last year of an illness.
Oh, he gets us.
And he went to her funeral, and you know what he didn't see? A soul. The grandmother was cremated, and no soul came out. Just ashes rose to the sky. And you know who else doesn't have a soul? You.
I thought when you said,
but you know what is missing there? The music. You need like
yeah,
sad music.
Yeah, like the really sad music. No, Niddy, when you said that when they went to the grandmother's funeral and they didn't see a soul there, I thought nobody had attended the funeral because the grandmother was an asshole.
Both.
That would be such a funny, like a zinger at the end of that joke. That's what we should do. We should do bullshit like what this guy's doing, but at the end, just turn it into like something fucking dark and twisted.
And that guy was Adolf.
Oh man.
It's like both, right? Behind the kid at the casket, there's just no one.
Yeah, just no one.
Right? And he's like looking.
Grandma was a jackass.
Why is nobody here at Grandma's funeral? Well, Sally, your mother or your grandmother, she embezzled a lot of people. Just something like that.
Oh my goodness.
She ran like 5 pyramid schemes.
I would definitely agree with the statement, Christ. If you want to refer to a soul as a living person, yes, I am very temporary. I think we all are. Even though witnesses also, they don't believe in the immortal soul at all. You're a soul when you're alive, and when you're dead, you're gone. Annihilationist. Okay. All right. Thank you, Eddie. Even though that was kind of a wet fart of a short, we'll go ahead and go on to something else. Niddy, you got a suggestion?
Let's go with
Cliff. Oh no.
Oh my god, I have so many. We'll do.
Oh, and the more I subscribe, every time I go back to the homepage, it should start filling
with
up.
More.
It'll fill you up with good stuff. So in the private chat, I put, "What do you meme?"
What is that? The one with the girl crying and they're like the cartoon one.
Shalom through God.
Oh,
I'll grab that for later.
Is that the filter of Disney?
I don't know, but it's only 200 subscribers. But I'll put that aside and we'll take a look at it later. We get desperate.
All right, what do you meme?
What do you meme? Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah.
John McCrae.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and subscribe. We exist to help you understand how Christianity makes sense of life by breaking down cultures, leading voices, and events. That's a weird sentence. Make sense of life by breaking down cultures, leading voices, and events. Grow spiritually, grow in your understanding of others, and grow in your understanding of the gospel's meaning in your life. Okay. Isn't gospel plural? Gospels is plural, right?
Yes.
Is it the gospel or the gospels?
Gospels, I think. Yeah. The Gospels, yes, the Gospels, because they're talking about the 4 books, right?
Yeah. I guess it could maybe go either way. Have you read the Gospel? It's the Gospel.
Just the Gospel.
The Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of Luke. That means the S on the end, Gospels, is plural.
Yes,
and this is plural possessive, so the apostrophe should go after the S. So
no.
What?
Understanding
of
the they're using the gospel as the gospel capital G as a spiritual concept, and so the spiritual concept owns properties.
So there's capital G gospel and lower G gospel, like capital G God, lower G God.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
it's just, but it's like
I have to know.
It's an arbitrary what's the word I'm looking for? Distinction.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could say the gospel's truth is Jesus Christ died for your sins.
Yeah.
That's like one place to start.
1 second, really quick here. Do I have a
But
Prag
I
and
think
Niddy?
it's still the way that he's using it is wrong. I don't know. I mean,
It feels
English
wrong.
is my second language, but it feels wrong.
No, it's exactly how I would talk, or Christian books I've read talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the gospel message possesses properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, don't get too caught up in the nitty gritty of grammar. I'm sure that'll make everybody flee this stream. Anyway.
Gritty.
All right. So let's take a look at what this guy has to say. I don't think I've ever been to this channel. He does lives. Oh, he teams up with David Wood. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Shorts. The problem millennials have with Christianity. Okay.
Okay, let's see what's the problem.
Millennial, I think that I can say that it's the inauthenticity that we've seen from older generations that's turned a lot of millennials away from Christianity.
So it's everybody else's fault.
It's the inauthenticity of the older generation. So is that an admission that the older generation are like
hypocrites?
You guys suck.
You guys suck.
You've disappointed Jesus.
Yeah.
Rather than towards it. I think that a lot of the talk about authenticity today is a reaction to those who always try to put on a good face, and that pushed millennials so far to the other extreme.
The fuck is that? Whoa.
Trace a person can have. And
so hold on, I'm going to put this into video mode just so we can go back and rewatch.
That guy was getting the shit beat out of him. Like, what is happening?
Now, to be clear.
Yeah, it looked like she's getting beat up.
That man's getting abused. He's in the middle of domestic violence, John. You need to cut that.
Hey, James, how you doing?
Hey there, guys. How are you?
I hope you weren't back there for very long. It just knows you were there.
So. No, not too long. Let me know if my mic needs to be turned down at all.
No, you're perfect. I think perfect. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm going to rewind a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to go over that part again because all those violent images flashing in front of me was distracting.
For real.
All right. Yeah. Let's go all the way at the very beginning here.
As a millennial, I think that I can say that it's the inauthenticity that we've seen from older generations that's turned a lot of millennials away from Christianity rather than towards it. I think that a lot of the talk about authenticity today is a reaction to those who always try to put on a good face, and that pushed millennials so far to the other extreme of seeing authenticity as one of the greatest traits that a person can have, and believing that they aren't sinning or doing anything wrong as long as they're.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. He really compounded that idea. He went from something that's probably a fairly reasonable like observation of like, well, you know, millennials see hypocrisy in the older generation and that can be a turnoff. Like, yeah, it can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they go to this bit. He goes to this bit.
It's traits that a person can have and believing that they aren't sinning or doing anything wrong.
And oh, by the way, they also think they aren't sinning at all. Like he just throws that in there.
That's an incredibly rare thing to see amongst fundamentalists. This idea that, you know, I'm never sinning. I've not run into any fundamentalists that try to say that, even in the older generation.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just feels like there's so much being thrown at here. Like this is, I mean, I understand it's a short, it's like 60 seconds long. So you probably has to throw a lot in there. But if you throw too much in there, especially with the short system, where if you don't know this little trick that I just did, you don't know if you can rewind and actually pause and do things like that.
I'd love to hear examples of the ways that they were sinning that he thinks were so offensive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we kind of unpack this idea. Older generation being inauthentic. I don't think it was mentioned in the video, but it is basically hypocrisy, like putting on a face.
Oh yeah,
like going to church on Sundays.
And being horrible Sunday afternoon. At noon in the restaurant.
Go to church, sing your songs, have your prayers, and then go treat the waitress at the local diner like shit because she gave you a Diet Coke instead of a Coke. Like we hear stories like that all the time, and obviously not all Christians are like that, but many of those people that do go and treat service workers like crap, treat people as though they are below them or act in like a privileged manner, are Christians. Like they will go to church and they will then go do that. Not that that's representative of Christianity as a whole, but that it lends into that Christ's power, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, when they say that
it ain't working.
Yeah,
and they say and I heard this a lot of times, that Christ transforms your life, but then after that, the same people that is telling me that they are like, oh, Christ just made me better, that I was a really bad person, and then they threaten me with hell, or telling me they're going to
Yeah.
my house, or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going here.
As long as they're staying true to their authentic selves. Of course, this isn't a good thing, but the point here is that being
authentic to yourself is not a good thing, because you're not
No.
following Christ's rules. You're not being authentic to Christ.
Mhm.
Being authentic to yourself might come in conflict with that. So you gotta this is what I hated about the Jehovah's Witnesses is
Oh yeah,
that
the personality, right? That you have to put
Yeah.
up front.
put on
Yeah.
that new personality, which is basically just suppress your true self and become what we tell you to become.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very icky to me.
honest about our human struggles as Christians is something that's attractive to my generation. And it's the covering it up that left our generation untrusting of Christianity and other institutions today. Now, to be clear,
So, yeah.
I think there's more than that.
Yeah, it's definitely more than
Yeah.
that, but it's
Scandal after
Christianity.
scandal. I don't know.
It is really Christianity's fault that Christianity's in decline. Like, it's just they got no one else to blame but themselves.
Mhm.
of course, this doesn't mean that we should in any way glorify sin or imply that we're somehow proud of a sinful lifestyle. But instead, my point
Wow.
is what this does is it reminds us that in virtually every chapter of the Bible, God uses broken people to accomplish great things.
Who made those broken people?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a surprise anyways. The Christian view is that everybody's incredibly broken
Yeah,
anyway. So who else is God going to be able to use? There's not any non-broken people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Mhm.
well, who else are they using? You could use like, are there non-broken people? Exactly. That's a great point. They're non-broken people. Well, there's one. It was Jesus. Then you broke him. So
I don't know. I've read it, the stories, and
That's
he
a
seemed
different
pretty
kind of
broken to me.
yeah, I'm talking about it like from the lens of Christian theocracy. But yeah,
Yeah.
like Jesus was definitely not perfect. If he existed, he certainly was not perfect.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so got a new one to add in there. Let's hop back. All right, Alma, you said you had one. Did you put it in chat like I asked, or
Yeah.
you did? Okay, let me go back and
No,
find it.
but it is the one that everybody's angry right now about, is the Little Nas video. So I'm
Lil
Nas X.
Nas X.
Yeah, that'll
Jesus
be fun to go check
Christ.
out.
That one. J
19.2
Christ. J
million.
Christ.
You might want to mute it though, because that'll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it'll
might
get
be
me.
muted, yeah. But just the imagery is awesome.
Oh man,
Oh
it's
man.
3 minutes long. All right, let's
Play it
do
at like 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. 1.75.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw this the other day. Like, not saw this. I think I saw a frame from it the other day. Nice. I don't see why.
Heaven with
I don't
Michael
see-
Jackson.
I don't see why Christians would not like this.
So these are like angels in heaven, right? Except a different kind of heaven.
Mhm.
Is it legal for him to use the tail during basketball or not?
I don't think so.
Look, this is holy. They're
Oh, the basket moves? That's not fair. Okay. Fun times.
I'm gonna need eye bleach.
Okay, so Little Nas X is not he's not a Christian apologist. He looks like a rapper or
Yeah,
an artist.
but
Okay.
he's been attacked a lot of times by Christian nationalists because, first of all, he's color, and second is gay, so
Yeah, it's very flamboyant.
they hate him. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, Philly 3000's right. He does look like Rick James.
Yeah, he kind of does. Might be Rick James incarnate
Yeah.
or reincarnate.
He made a deal with
He's
the
also
devil to
Moses.
come back that way.
Look at that. That is Moses or Noah with the ark. I think it was Noah. Yeah, it was Noah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm not going to subscribe to this because this is not the purpose.
No,
of
it's
yeah,
not
that's it's
apologistic.
interesting. It's so funny.
It
I
kind of
never see why
reminds me
people
of
are upset about him.
It reminds me of the trouble that Madonna got in, which really helped her career when she did that Like a Prayer back in the
Yeah.
Oh
in the
yeah, the
80s
like a
and 90s.
prayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like so innocuous now too. Like it's just so like
Right.
inoffensive now. It's amazing how the drastic major offenses of like decades ago is now the norm. Like nobody blinks an eye at it because
Yeah.
because it's really not a big deal.
Right.
BS Lewis says every single Daily Wire talking head covered this. Wow, man,
I would like to see the
a
comment. I would like to see the comments.
yeah. Even the like to dislike ratio here. I mean, I have a plugin installed, so I think it estimates the dislike ratio.
Oh,
But
okay.
I mean, we're looking at that 66% like to 33% dislike. So
Wow.
all right, cool. All right, well, we're not gonna subscribe to that, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
All right, what do you got? Let's see your next one.
I'm just gonna pick one in my
Okay.
feed because this is gonna happen. Graceful Blessings.
Okay.
Although I do want something. This one has 100,000 views on it 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Graceful
Wow.
Blessings.
So
10,000
there is like
subscribers.
an uprising of, hello, I am
Oh,
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
the Lord.
Like
In
the
your
like
Bible,
AI,
it
like
says
AI
yeah.
generated.
to
Yeah, it's
repent
everything
and
AI.
come to me.
So we're gonna have like a whole lot of like low effort shit that we might be looking
Yeah,
at. Okay.
Yeah.
kind of
Well-
pisses me off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like there's also a glut of low effort like AI recaps of movies where they basically just read you a synopsis of the script in an AI generated voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Okay. Well, I'm gonna just come up with one from memory. What was that one dude that like tore into Pokemon? Zod covered him. And
Pokemon.
I think Surus
Was
also.
not Ben Shapiro? No, it wasn't
No,
him.
Zod, Surus, Pokemon. It's like a Pokemon demonic featuring Surus.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, and then it was original video, Satanism in Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. This dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I must have been a Satanist for a long time.
Yeah.
Now,
Goose-
in his defense, there was a Pokemon movie decades ago called Mew versus Mewtwo, and the theme of that cartoon movie was to challenge the idea of an evil god who was so evil that he just destroyed everybody in a flood.
Oh.
Fascinating. That was an official Pokemon video?
It was at the movie theater.
Oh, okay. I only saw Pokemon 2000 at the movie theater, so there must have been something else. And my wife and I, we just watched Pokemon Concierge on Netflix, which is adorable. It's 4 short episodes. It's stop motion with like actual real puppets, and it's really great. Let me see here. Pokemon movies.
Don't get distracted.
Okay, fine. I want to talk about Pokemon instead of Christian apologists. Anyway, probably
Is
this guy
an
doesn't have.
apologist or just a wacky preacher. Like,
This is like a wacky preacher. I mean, wacky preachers are fine too. I mean, that's really good YouTube fodder.
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't look like. It looks like Kazad linked this as the original video, and this is just some random guys, just random stuff. So okay, doesn't okay. Probably not a good one to start with. Let's see here. Let's go back. And I'll go for a really obvious one. I think Kent Hovitt. Actually, no, Kent got kicked off of YouTube, didn't he? Right?
Yeah.
I
Eric
think
Hovitt
it
has
did,
it,
but
though.
I think you know what it does now to get videos out. I think it goes under another church or something. Like
Standing
there's a
for
guest
truth.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, standing for truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Is
probably
that Eric
one.
Manning?
how it went around the ban.
Yeah.
Oh no,
it's prob-
testify as Eric Manning. That's right. Standing for truth is
Yeah. Donnie.
yeah.
So Curation Today is Eric Hoven's ministry, right? He only has 18,000 subscribers with 1.6 thousand videos. Wow.
But he's got a punchable face, so it's like,
He does.
you can only
and
go so far.
Yeah.
I say it all the time on behalf of all Erics everywhere. We're really sorry about Hovind.
No, not yet, BS.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I'm subscribing. But still, look at this. He 18.3 thousand subscribers, 1,600 videos. So he's averaging 10 subscribers per video, which is abysmal. Like that's a massive amount of effort for virtually no growth.
I mean, when you're that hardcore young Earth creationist, like what
I
do you
guess, but
expect?
like what
Well, a bunch of them are like a minute or two. Look at that.
yeah, like some of these are super duper low. 7-minute video, 171 reviews. 2-minute video,
Oh, the
66
sound of
reviews.
freedom. Ugh.
Christianity versus spirituality. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Okay.
2-minute video.
Is spirituality and Christianity the same? So go into that and then help us start to divide these two and go, are they the same or are they different?
Spirituality versus Christianity. Christianity tells us that we are not spiritual in the sense that people like to think. It actually, that God is spirit, we must worship him in spirit and in truth. We are actually carnal.
So I think they're just going to nitpick over definitions.
For real.
And we're
What the
told to
hell is that?
understand. And we are actually destitute and poor in spirit. So the Bible says, right?
How do you know
What
we're
a
destitute?
conflation.
Yeah. But like, okay, how do you know you're destitute and poor in spirit? Like, first of all, what is a spirit? How do you know you have it?
Yeah.
And then how would you even describe it as destitute and poor? Like, I've been destitute and poor in real life, and I'm pretty sure I've never felt that in anything I would call a spirit. I've been depressed. Sure, everyone gets depressed, but I wouldn't call that destitute and poor.
It's that God-shaped hole. Yeah, put something in it.
Yeah, I guess.
Right, Matthew 5, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God. What spirituality tells you is no, you're not poor in spirit. In fact, your spirit is so powerful that it can shape and change reality around you.
Spirituality tells me that no, you are not poor and destitute in spirit, but you are rich.
And you're
Which form?
powerful.
How is spirituality telling me about my spirit?
So this is like what spirit manifest beliefs, or like
those new age
Yeah.
things, and you manifest whatever you
Oh,
want
right.
and change
Yeah.
your destiny. Oh yeah.
So it's completely inaccurate to just use the word spirituality. You know what I mean? Like I could just sit here, light a bunch of incense, and be like, I am so terrible, and yet I need the entrance of the good spirits, the good spirit. Like I wouldn't care
Yeah.
about getting a new car or some shit. Like
Now, if I was rich in spirit, I would be making myself rich in the flesh. I'd be like, give me the lottery numbers. They're going to come to me. I guess so.
Yeah.
So is this basically just because I just realized Eric Hovind peddles essential oils.
Oh yeah, I think it's
Get outta
mixed
here.
with that. Yeah, I think it's mixed with that
Um,
because they love like this Hindu Oriental cultures, just the way to say, oh look, it's spirituality, but they try to go mix it, but not really, because they know if you go too far, they will find the Hindu gods.
Yep.
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Like because he does peddle essential oils. Drew of Genetically Modified Skeptic did a whole covering of that.
Essential
I
oils,
think with
yeah.
Apologia, yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't be surprised if he's like trying to sell this idea of projecting your spirit into the world to make to change reality or something like that.
That's what makes his punchable face so
yeah.
shiny.
Tell Me More is here. Welcome. Tell Me
Niddy.
More. And then what does Sam have to say? I describe spirit as Sir Six whiskey. It's the thing that keeps him going. But poor and destitute is like bird dog whiskey. Yeah, I think being poor is drinking a Foster's, which I am.
Natty Light.
Is drinking mezcal and the 10 pesos bottle.
Yeah.
Natty Light.
Yeah. All right, let's finish this up here.
And that your spirit is eternal just by its own nature, and it's a part.
Your spirit is eternal by its own nature. It's basically your spirit is eternal because we defined it as eternal. It's really what it comes down to. No demonstration that there's a spirit that exists or that it's eternal. It is purely
claim.
It is purely the definitions that he's appealing to.
Part of God, and you're actually perfect and divine as you are. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to achieve a higher state of spirituality and transcend these lower levels of earth matter, which is a lower form of existence.
lower levels of earth matter, which is a lower form of existence. Who's to say that material existence is a better existence than spiritual existence? Like, how is he even making? How do you even compare
Doesn't
the
even make
two?
any sense.
Yeah, like how do you even compare the two? Has this gentleman ever experienced a spiritual existence? I'm willing to bet he hasn't. So how can you
I think
possibly
he
know?
might
Well, you
be.
can do that with a lot of drugs, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's oversimplifying Hindu beliefs as well.
Yeah, as I can say, I mean, they're like trying to
Oh, I'm sure
ground
he's
some of the stuff that they feel like feels spiritual, but not everything.
yeah. I'm sure he's not straw manning the other side at all. Come on,
He's
guys.
about as he seems about as ex-Hindu as I seem as ex-station wagon. Like
Yeah. I am
Spirit of
an
76. Yes,
I
I wish I
am
was alive.
ex-nun.
I wish I was alive in the 70s. That'd been a fun decade to live in. I watched the 70s show. I would definitely fit in back then, I think.
Spirituality tells you your spirit's perfect. You need to just kind of get rid of all the excess baggage, basically. Christianity starts it the other way and says, no, there's nothing you can do. You're actually carnal. You're sinful. Your spirit's utterly corrupt and it's valueless, but God will make you born again. He does it freely, right? God will change you. The new covenant promises, I will take out your heart of stone, put in you a heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit within you, and I will cause you to walk in my statutes.
So not only are you a spirit and you have a spirit, but God will put his spirit in you.
In you.
Yeah, your spirit's so broken it just can't be fixed. So we're gonna shove somebody else's spirit inside of you and have it make you walk around.
Yeah, it's kind of like a blood transplant. God will put some of his spirit inside of you.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't consent to any medical procedures from God, any spiritual medical procedures from God.
Don't put anything on me. I'm good.
Yeah. And this all boils down to, like, they're flashing scriptures up on the screen. They are talking about things that they cannot even produce and show you. Like, this is a spirit. We know things about the spirit because we can do these things to the spirit and we get these responses, and, like, demonstrability and empiricism and tests.
You know, that's
nothing.
the kind of magical thinking that not only push Christianity but also push stuff like what is the Scientology stuff.
Yeah.
If you notice, they're like, oh, we can fix you, we can make you better, we can fix your spirit and fix
Except
everything that is wrong with you.
they go at it from the other end, though, because Scientologists want to get thetans out of your body.
Yes.
God wants to put his spirit into your body. And I'll be honest, we don't know where God's spirit's been. Like,
but both of them are like, and you're broken, there's something wrong with you. So
yeah.
Yep.
So Christianity wants to put something in your body. Scientology wants to take something out of your body. I choose to do neither.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So what God and Christianity offers is not your own awesome divine spirit, but he will give you of his own spirit because of the sacrifice of his son and what he's done. So it's a free gift, but in spirituality, you must attain it. And it's not put forth in a negative context, like it's going to be a lot of work. It's all a journey, and this is my experience. But spirituality is you must attain your own salvation to be free from suffering, which is the same as any false religion out there. They're all the same in this. The Mormons must work for it. The Jehovah's Witnesses must work for it. Catholicism teaches you must work for it. You're not saved by grace through faith. Christianity says you're saved by grace through faith, and not even by your own merits, right? But solely based upon the merits of another, namely Christ Jesus, the perfect man.
I learned nothing.
Yeah, I'm just the same.
Yeah.
Is spirituality and Christianity
slightly more bored than I was a few minutes ago. Yeah, just so rapid fire claims. Okay, so it was an extemporaneous conversation. I don't blame the guy for being unorganized, but he was shifting back between Christianity and spirituality. Like, it was hard to track exactly which he was talking about at the same time, or what he was talking about at any given time. And it might be the beer that I'm drinking, but I feel that was kind of disordered and difficult to follow.
Yeah,
well, I don't think all systems and what's the word I'm looking for? Interpretations of Hindu doctrine even care about suffering written large. It's more about, it might be about like transforming existence overall, which, you know, sure, that'll get rid of suffering, but that's not attaining a eternal salvation or peace, or sorry, an eternal salvation by works or anything. Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
Who's to
Erica,
say that
Yep.
there
have you?
isn't suffering? Who's to say there isn't suffering on the spirituality side either? Like if we do somehow like transition over into like a different form of existence, who's not to
I
say
mean,
there's
there's
suffering over there?
hell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's definitely ex station wagon.
Have you seen, Eric? Have you seen Pillowgate
Yeah,
from the
Pillowgate.
Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, I remember that. So let's look it up.
Oh,
So
I have it on my channel. Do you want it?
yeah, sure.
Pillowgate.
Yeah.
Mm,
What's the name of your channel?
yeah, I sent the link in the private chat.
Oh, okay, great. This is not really Christian apologetics, but
And kind of it is. It talks against being sinful with a pillow.
yeah. So just to add some, so let's fill in some context here for those who don't know. All right, so Jehovah's Witnesses have a headquarters, a worldwide headquarters in New York called Bethel. They have other branches around the world, which they also call Bethel, call them Bethel branches, but headquarters Bethel is in New York. Jehovah's Witnesses, I think the peak service in the Jehovah's Witness religion is to go to Bethel to serve there. And when I say serve, is basically become a free worker there. You aren't paid. You're given a small stipend every month and you're given room and board, but you don't really get a paycheck. You don't get a reference for your resume. You get there and you work for them for free. And unless you're like super specialized, like let's say you go in and somehow you're a lawyer, like very uncommon, but let's just say hypothetically you're a lawyer
Or a translator.
or a translator, they will use you for that because they desperately need lawyers and translators. But if you're just like a guy like me and I'm like, okay, I can program computers and I can install tile floors, like those are my two main skill sets. If I go there, they will put you just about, or they'll put me just about anywhere. I could be scrubbing bathrooms. I could be hemming shirts. I could be a carpenter. Like you don't get put to where your skill set really is. You're just simply put to wherever they need a body in most cases. Anyway, but that's like peak service for a Jehovah's Witness. When you get to Bethel, you have there's like an orientation meeting where they kind of welcome you. And I think there's like a little bit of it's like a talk and a presentation by one of the higher ups there, basically welcoming, kind of giving you a feel for the rules and things like that. But anyway, years ago, they were basically like, and here's another thing too. Sexual immorality, according to them, is kind of rampant at Bethel. They don't tell you that, but it's obvious it is. Homosexuality is rampant at Bethel. Masturbation is rampant at Bethel because it's a very sexually frustrating environment because there's lots of young people there. They can't really express any of their sexual energy anywhere.
Yeah.
So there's a big issue with homosexuality and masturbation, according to them. And if you get caught doing either one of those, you're kicked out.
You get out. Yeah.
You're kicked straight out. So anyway, they were like, these guys had this bright idea of, hey, let's orient our new inductees with some material to discourage them or to guide them to avoid these things. And one of the things that they suggested is don't sleep with a pillow between your legs because that'll rub up against you and it might set you off. And it eventually became what's called Pillowgate.
Exactly.
Wow. There's one with Legos.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm so sorry. Let's do this again.
Headquarters with a lot of responsibilities, such as planning meetings, witnessing Jehovah, and asking the really tough questions about humanity's carnal instincts.
Does there have to be an orgasm for it to be considered masculine? Suppose a brother starts rubbing his genitals against a pillow. He gets an erection, but stops before having an orgasm. Is he masturbating? Yes.
Yes.
Gary, I'm sorry, but it's just not working out for you here at Bed Bath Beyond.
Mom, I swear my pants just got tighter. I'm not.
I'm not doing anything.
Anyway, you get the idea of the type of control these Jehovah's Witnesses want to exert over your life when you're under their spell. You know, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
I think they don't even are allowed to marry, right? Or
They are allowed.
They do, but you're not allowed to have children.
That's another thing too. Yeah, they really do not. So it's really weird because like you will point to Paul and say, Paul said, hey, if you really need to marry, but Paul really recommends you don't marry because, you know, there's more important things to worry about. But hey, if you're such a slave to your own flesh, okay, go ahead and get married. So they discourage marriage within their ranks. Okay. If you do manage to get married and they don't kick you out for it or kick you out for some other unrelated reason, they really don't want you having kids because they don't want that type of liability around there. They don't want that kind of financial drag. If you get accepted to Bethel and you get married and somehow manage to stay, if you have a kid, they will most likely kick you out unless you offer them something that they simply cannot do without. Like you are so specialized and so rare, like a Mongo database administrator or something like that. Like you're like a unicorn. They won't get rid of you. So anyway, yeah. So PILLOWGATE, that was really fun. That was like several years ago when that whole thing went down. All right, let's get back to this. I have to reshare my screen because I closed the tab. I should probably just simply have it share the window and not the tab. The tab is like more private because I won't show like something I might not want to show on a stream. But if I close the tab or if I open up a new tab without thinking, I don't update it. So let's go ahead and share the window. There we go. So now if any of these tabs that I flip through, you guys can see without having to worry about me switching it. So it's probably a better way to do it. Okay, so we need apologists though. So let's go back around. Did anybody in chat recommend an apologist?
No, we're too far off the wagon.
We're way too far off the wagon. Okay, we're gonna whip this stream back into shape.
I've got one in the private chat. There's this guy that I argue with pretty often.
Okay, great. Let's take a look. Cultural Apologetics. Okay, well, he's got some subscribers. Okay, that's a respectable amount of subscribers. He's put some work in. Let me make this even bigger. Me embiggen it. So that's a respectable amount of subscribers and a number of videos. Is there anything in particular that might stand out you want to share, James?
So to his credit, if you respond to one of his videos by challenging him in the comment section, he will usually engage with you, which is unusual for the apologist. So I give him credit for that. He's not reasonable, but let me think about that for a second. Let me check my history and see if I can recommend him more specific.
Sure. Okay. So let's look at his description while James is looking into that. About an anti-God, anti-scripture, anti-Christian, and anti-Christ culture has been growing in power and influence in the West. Well, isn't it in the world? I guess maybe, in the West, because Christianity is for the most part dominant in the West, right? Think about it. Like Christianity never picked up in the East and Asia's. Like it's never really gotten big there.
Right.
So yeah, okay, I guess it's in the West. Countries that were solidly Christian have fallen away, and America, which was founded on Christian values, oh boy, it's one of those, is leading the charge away from God. This channel is a challenge to the Church of God to be the light in the darkness, hope in the midst of despair, and an answer to why Jesus makes the difference. Okay. Any recommendations on which stream or short to look at, or we can just pick one?
So I found one of my blogs where I responded, but I think I forgot to include the link in the blog.
Oh, okay.
So I'll have to go back and look through my history. Give me a sec.
All right, no worries. We'll just pick one and take a look while we wait. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll
What about
randomly.
that one that says the scripture or something? What about...
I was gonna just randomly pick one.
Oh, okay.
This was the best government. Oh boy.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna go to video. So we have to control it.
It is mute. I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
No.
What about you,
Do you
Niddy?
guys hear it?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh no. Maybe I have to share the tab for you to hear the audio.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
that's-
because
oh,
sometimes
that
it has
stinks.
the option to share the audio.
Okay. Full screen layout. Remove from stage. I might have to share the actual tab. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, whatever. It's fine. I'll go ahead and share the Chrome tab. Just yell at me if I make a blunder and get off the tab. Am I not sharing? Come on, Eric. Get it together, Eric.
In Israel, they would have spiritual
there it
leaders
is.
who would act as judges among the people. And if there was a time of conflict where they needed to go into battle, they would also lead them into battle. But they were not kings. The people were free. That was a time of freedom. And when the people wanted a king, God gave them Saul. But what did he say? He said,
Okay, so he's talking about the ancient Israelites.
Yeah.
Saul was the king that preceded David. Were they really free? Kind of a
Not
stretch
really.
to say that. Yeah.
if you have a king, he will abuse you. He will take your lands. He will take your gold. He will take your wealth. Like, this is not a good thing. This is not a good idea. This is what everybody else is doing, but maybe because they're in sin.
Okay.
Okay, so God knew that it wasn't a good thing, and still gave them the king.
Still sent it.
Like,
You know what? Something else. Other countries back then were doing too. Other nations. They were, pillaging and invading and raping nearby neighbors.
Yeah.
Shame the Israelites also did the same thing too, according to the Bible. I saw a couple new people in the chat. Ford and Gamzee. How about Hello Saints or Fair Mormon for Apologists? Both are specifically Mormon. Well, hey, I can't pass up a good Mormon apologist.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Las Vegas. Not many people know that, but I grew up in Las Vegas, which is right next door to Utah. So that basically makes me an expert on Mormons.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah.
I put a combined list of some of the ones that have been coming through in chat and the other ones that I would recommend. So
okay, cool.
Now I don't have to just like tell you. You could just pick ones from the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones
Sounds
you
good.
haven't heard of. Because the
Sounds
other
good.
ones are like, big name. You've already heard them. You could just click in and we're done, right?
Yeah, like William Lane Craig, I know. Testify,
Reasonable
I know.
faith.
Yeah. Does Jay Warner Wallace have a channel, or is he's just a book writer?
Cold Case Christianity.
Oh, Cold Case
Is that-
Christianity. I want to.
Mhm.
What is that?
All right, we'll go and do that here in a moment.
Wretched
okay.
Radio.
Okay.
All right. Hello Saints, the Book of Mormon.
There is a book, one of the chapters. I don't know if it's a book or one of the chapters that is called Alma.
Oh yeah. Actually, whenever I hear your name, I'm
Alma.
like Book of Alma, because I've heard the word Alma way more on Aaron Ra's Book of Mormon or Joseph Smith Book of Mormon reading than I do in other chats. So that's kind of what my brain goes to. Sapir says, "It have to be an apologist, or it could be also a charismatic Christian type." Yeah, I'll take both.
Yeah.
For those who have joined since the beginning of the stream, the purpose of this stream is I have a YouTube channel called Bible Bunk, and it's not a channel I'm going to post any videos on. It's just a channel that I'm going to use to subscribe to all Christian apologists and Christian propaganda videos, and that'll be like my steady stream of YouTube fodder that I can like flip to and go, okay, what crazy things are being said today? And then if I need to, I can flip, or when I want to, I can flip out of it and go back to, normality.
Yeah,
So
that's a
what we're
good
doing there.
idea because I ruined my channel by looking at Andrew Tate crap.
Yeah. That's like the worst thing. Like, okay, I'm on my fun channel when I want to like do dishes or I want to just relax and like decompress. I want to listen to things like Red Letter Media. I want to listen to Legal Eagle. I want
Oh
to
yeah, I
listen
love
to,
it, Eagle Eagle.
yeah, like just normal people not like
Yeah.
us or not like Christians.
Mhm.
And if I'm scrolling through a list and I'm looking for something to watch and then I see Frank Turek's face, it's just going to ruin my day. So I just don't
Yeah,
want to do
I
that. CBAS, did he leave? Yeah, I haven't seen him for a little bit. So he might have
he did. It just that he
might be
left
popping
saying
in and
like
out.
he was going to give us a thumbs down because I don't know why.
He's
fine.
trying to work on a channel ban here.
Yeah.
Channel ban, I guess. I don't know. Here's the thing
Yeah,
though.
because
Here's the
Yeah,
thing
he
though.
was
It
kind of it was kind of rude to somebody.
yeah, it's fine.
here I'll
I
put in
kind
the
of
private chat why.
okay.
But go on.
It just
Mhm.
thumbs down is totally fine because that's still engagement. And the algorithm still likes
Yeah.
it. So it's like he helped me by doing that. Okay, gonna bring Epicurious in here. Hey Epicurious.
Hey.
Are you incognito or can I use your real name? Do you mind?
My real name, sure.
Yeah, okay. Hey, this is Andrew from a week and a half ago. Catholic tutor when we spoke. So
okay.
yeah. So hey Andrew, how you doing?
Awesome. Nice to see
Yeah,
you
I noticed
guys.
you. Yeah, it's good to see you too. I noticed you changed your name and you I saw you on a couple channels recently. So yeah, okay, cool. Didn't know you were wanting to be incognito with kind of a new identity or if you were open and out about
Trying to
name
see
change
the
stuff.
world through a different lens. Trying
Okay.
Epicureanism.
Okay.
Hey, that's I respect that. Like I respect trying out new things. But yeah, no, great to have you here. Okay, so let's look at one of these. See,
I got one. I got a good recommendation on the Catholic side.
Okay, cool. Can you
we
toss
can
it?
think of- or later? How about later?
Well, toss it into the private chat. So in StreamYard, there's a private chat.
Oh,
Toss
got
it in
it.
there, and we'll get to it. Yeah, cool. All right, so I'm gonna instead of scroll up and down, I'm gonna listen to one of these here. So, do Mormons celebrate Christian holidays? Oh, that's kind of like an internal Mormon thing. Pastor explains Mormon pioneers. Pastor explores the Mormon Church. Why Christians don't have temples, but Latter-day Saints do. Okay, that might be kind of interesting. All right.
Okay.
We do have a Mormon temple. We had one in Las Vegas that you can see from a clear across the valley. And we actually have one here in Washington as well. So
There is one in Mexico City that is kind of like that.
like this. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Like they all basically have the same layout. It's got the big gaudy gold idol on top and the steeple and all that.
Yeah.
Has anybody here watched The Expanse? It's a hard sci-fi show. It's excellent. I absolutely recommend watching it. But if you watch The Expanse, the Mormons play a part in the first season, but nothing in any like serious note. Like they're kind of a plot device. It's kind of used and then thrown aside, which is really entertaining.
Okay.
But yeah, I recommend watching The Expanse because they play a pretty fun part in it.
Why do Latter-day Saints have temples, but not the rest of Christianity? My name is Jeff. I am a Christian pastor exploring everything I can about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I was recently in Nauvoo, Illinois. This is a place where most of the saints lived in the mid-1800s, just prior to Brigham Young taking all of the saints out to Utah. I was contemplating this question as I was exploring the historic areas and seeing the temple in Nauvoo. In the Old Testament, there were two main reasons why God commanded his people to build the temple. One, so they would have a place where they could fulfill specific requirements of the law that were important to salvation. And two, so there would be a place where God's presence could dwell in the inner sanctum with the Ark of the Covenant.
So that's right. The Mormons are really super big on like the Israelites and kind of like the untold stories about what happened to.
Yeah, but they have like a really weird story. Like Jesus went to America.
The Americas.
Yeah, but aren't like the Native Americans like an offshoot of the Israelites from way back then?
Yeah.
That's like kind of their thing.
Yeah, like
So-
the lost tribe of Israel or something.
It would make sense if they're like obsessed about like Israelite culture, they would name their stuff temples.
Joseph Smith taught that this temple needed to be restored so that the saints would have a place to carry out specific covenants that are important to salvation. The rest of Christianity, on the other hand, believes that when Jesus came and died on the cross, he fulfilled the requirements of the law, and he brought God's presence near because he is Emmanuel God. And that is why Latter-day Saints have temples, but not the rest of Christianity. Why do
Okay.
Wait. So he had to like do the what? Like prescription drug warning label at the end. Is that how I heard the rest of that?
Yeah, why did they speed it up so fast at the end? Like,
Why do Latter-day
That might have been me. I clicked and I
oh,
held. If you click and hold
Oh,
a short, does it speed it up? That might have been me.
probably. Let's
Okay.
see.
maybe.
Let's give him his fair due. I'll go ahead and play the last 20 seconds of this.
carry out specific covenants that are important to salvation? The rest of Christianity, on the other hand, believes that when Jesus came and died on the cross, he fulfilled the requirements of the law and he brought God's presence near because he is Emmanuel God. And that is why Latter-day Saints have temples, but not the rest of Christianity.
Okay,
So
it was you.
Okay, it was me. So is he a Mormon? He called himself a Christian pastor.
Oh, they try and conflate the two just to trick people into getting.
Why do Latter
Okay, so he is.
Why do Latter-day
Sorry, I'm trying to get back to this.
Mhm.
I'm a Christian pastor on a quest to learn everything I can about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It sounds like a Mormon just pretending to not be a Mormon. Is really what
Yeah,
it feels
kind
like
of.
to me. It sounds
Yeah,
really
No,
fighting.
Vesper.
it seems like I'm discovering this, but I'm not really part of it. But I'm going to speak well of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Sounds
feels like a. I don't know.
sounds
Feels like,
shady.
he feels like a plant. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
feels weird. I mean, maybe he's just a Christian pastor and he's like, I'm really interested in Mormonism. Maybe he's interested in converting. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a video here sometime in the future. Like, I converted to Mormonism, like Cameron Batuzzi converted to Catholicism.
Mhm.
And then it was too personal for him to talk about
He
anymore.
remind that
Poor baby.
I would love to drill into that one day because that's so weird what happened there.
You know that Johnny Harris guy who has like millions of viewers. He does stuff on geopolitics. He did 3 videos just on Mormonism, which is really random, and he has a lot of views on that because he's
Okay.
a former Mormon, and he talks about how like they changed polygamy because there was pressure from the United States. Like
Yeah.
they forced the church to change their doctrine on polygamy. That was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's interesting too because there's been also like with Jehovah's Witnesses, there's been case of Jehovah's Witnesses
Mhm.
very recently having to change some of their rules because of government pressure. With witnesses think that the whole world lies in the power of the wicked one. That includes all other religions that are not witnesses and all the world governments. They're especially the UN. The UN is like Satan's
Oh yeah, they
main
hate the UN.
piece. Yeah, like the UN is Satan's like queen on the chessboard. It's just it's the most
It's
powerful.
one of the beasts.
Yeah, and so with that mentality in mind, the witnesses are usually like, we have to resist government influence, and because it's evil and it's Satan's tool.
Mhm.
But when the government steps in and says, hey, witnesses, especially like in Australia, hey, your policies are basically creating a pedophile's paradise within your organization. You need to do something about it. They resist those types of influences because they're like, no, you're
Mhm.
the government. Even no matter how sane and how practical and how beneficial a government's recommendations on how to combat CSA within their organization,
Mhm.
they resist it
Yeah, they did the
until
same in Utah with that law that it was requiring for
Yeah.
them to report things.
until the government says, fine, we're going to yank your charity status and you're going to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they change their tune.
Yeah.
So it's really weird, the whole resistance between, like, because I mean we need a healthy wall between church and state. Church should not be meddling in the affairs of state and vice versa, except if the religion is doing something harmful to people.
Mhm.
At that point, the government has a duty to step in and say,
To
no,
step in and
you
say,
can't do this.
Yeah.
For example, with the witnesses, the 2-witness rule, witnesses don't report child abuse
because
allegations
there
to the
is no two
police
witnesses. Yeah.
due to the 2-witness rule. The 2-witness rule basically says if there isn't 2 witnesses to one, if there isn't 2 witnesses to a specific offense, whether
Mhm.
it's somebody punching somebody in the face, somebody stealing money, or even CSA and child abuse, if there isn't a
Mhm.
second witness present to back up the accuser,
Mhm.
the elders don't do anything about it. And
Yeah.
this creates a pedo paradise within the organization. So anyway, there's countries basically saying you need to change these 2 witness rules, and Australia is at the forefront of that. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Okay, cool. Got him subscribed. He doesn't look like he has a bunch of regular. Yeah, he has a bunch of videos. He hasn't been around for very long, has he? 69 videos. Nice. 69 videos. 60,000 subscribers. That's good growth.
Yeah.
That is really good growth. That is maybe, what is it, 800 subscribers per video? That's respectable. That is really respectable. Eric Hovind should really get over here and take some notes from this guy. Okay, Andrew, let's go and look at what you were showing. Catholic Answers. So, Andrew, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to ask, do you still consider yourself a Catholic, or are you an agnostic?
Yeah, liberal Catholic, kind of like
liberal Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Catholic Answers, 170,000 subscribers.
They made me Catholic. This is channel that got me like from the Baptists to the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Okay.
Catholic COM. 4,000 videos and 170,000 subscribers. That's about 40 subscribers per video.
This is a hub for apologists. Like they have like 5 main ones. That's kind of, and then
I see Trent
each
Horn.
one has offshooted.
Yeah, saw Trent Horn there. So I guess Trent Horn's Catholic, or is he?
Yeah, he is the premier Catholic apologist. He goes on all these debates, but he's really hot right now.
Yeah,
like modern day debates.
Council of Trent too.
Correct.
Yeah, Council of Trent. I've seen that. Okay, cool. Well, let's look at one of their shorts. How to deal with sorrow. He said this after living the LGBT plus lifestyle. What even is purgatory? That sounds more fun. What is purgatory?
What's your favorite prayer to say when you feel down?
This is not a prayer per se. It's a St. John Henry Newman quote. God has created me to do him some definite service. He has committed some work to me which he has not committed to another.
So my questions here is, how does he know this?
Yeah, how does he know that he is special?
Yeah. I said this yesterday too when I was on a stream, or I wasn't on the stream, I was in the live chat. It was about a flat earther, or talking to flat earthers. And it's like, I think, man, humans, in my experience, what I've seen, humans really have a desire to feel special and to feel like they are somehow important in the grand scheme of things. Like you can see the witnesses do that. The witnesses do that with their organization. Like witnesses think that we are God's one and only true earthly organization. We are spreading the word about the upcoming destruction of all mankind, and we are doing the most important work on the planet right now. Like that's what the witnesses think about themselves. They are the centerpiece of the grandest event to ever happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And also they appeal so much to this that I don't know if you heard the big road and the small entrance.
Oh yeah, the narrows the gate. Yeah,
the narrows the gate. Yeah.
But like we see this kind of common thread in a lot of different things. Like we see that humans really want to be important. They really want to be in the center of everything.
Yeah.
Flat earthers, I think, is probably another
anti-vaxxers too. Like
anti-vaxxers,
I know something that nobody knows.
Exactly. Any type of conspiracy theory based stuff. Anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, 9/11 with inside job, anti-COVID. We like people are like that. People like that are basically saying we have a special insight into these things. Everyone else is duped except us because we see through the
QAnon
bullshit.
movement.
QAnon, yeah. There's just a desire there to be special and a desire that, hey, the world isn't how it appears, but we've pierced the veil. We see right through it. And this is kind of in the line of that same thing. This guy is claiming that he has a special purpose. Not only that he has a special purpose from God, which how do you know that? But also no one else has this same purpose. How does he also know that? And it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's all very human. Like,
we're a chosen generation.
Yeah, we're a chosen
Type of
generation.
language.
Every generation since Christ is
The
the chosen
chosen.
generation. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like every generation since Christ, this is when Armageddon will finally strike, or this is when the world will finally end. This generation is when Christ will finally return, over and over and over for 2,000 years.
And
No, they told me
1914 generation is a special one. Yep.
Yeah. We were told we were a chosen generation when I was a teenager. And then in my 20s, they told all the teenagers, "You're the chosen generation." I'm like, okay, so what? They just keep saying it to all the generations that go into the youth groups.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that too is that when the generation that's told they were chosen gets really old, the new generation's their heads are already being pumped full of that nonsense. Then the old generation dies off, and they're not around anymore to say, "Hey, wait, hold on, we were the chosen generation. What happened here?"
Chosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that I was told in the Jehovah's Witness that the ones that were born in 1914 were like the chosen generation, and once they were gone, the Armageddon will start. But they're all gone.
Yeah, that's how the overlapping generations thing. That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You keep on mentioning JW stuff, and my brain goes to that. But yeah, but then they go through and they rationalize and they say, oh, it wasn't the generation that started in 1914. It's the generation that knew the generation that started in 1914. So they basically like doubled their
Exactly.
all kinds
another 20 years.
Yeah,
And they
all
added
kinds of
the-
stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, so we got some new folks here. BTF Wayne, ahoy hoy. Hey man, good to see you. Yes, Vesper, I'm looking for good counter apologize channels, so feel free to throw one in the chat, tag me so I can see it, and yeah, we'll consider it. Okay, and then Sapier says, based off of our conversation, one explanation for the need to feel special might have to do with minimizing cognitive dissonance by justifying what we are spending our time and energy on. Yeah, I think we all kind of want to know. I don't know. Like I'm a bit of a cosmic nihilist. Like I think the universe is absolutely indifferent to us, and really the only way you can handle that is to kind of look back at it and laugh. But yeah, it does give you some type of comfort thinking that, hey, I am here doing something. I'm here making some type of impact. My existence means something or meant something. I'm going to leave something positive behind. Hopefully most people think that or want that rather. And yeah, I think there's just a drive. There's just a kind of a natural drive for humans to want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me more. That's a perfectly acceptable purpose to find in your life is you want to be a good dad to your kids. Yeah. Okay. Let's listen to more about how this guy's got a special mission from God that only he can do.
What is the mission?
Nobody else has this mission. Only he can do it. He has a very unique set of skills.
I have my mission. I may never know it in this life, but I shall be told it in the next. I am a link in a chain, a bond of connection between persons. He has not created me for naught. I shall do good. I shall do his work. I shall be an angel of peace, a preacher of truth in my own place, while not intending it, if I do but keep his commandments. Therefore I will trust him. Whatever I am, I can never be thrown away. If I am in sickness, my sickness may serve him. In perplexity, my perplexity may serve him. If I am in sorrow, my sorrow may serve him. He does nothing in vain. He knows what he is about. He may take away my friends. He may throw me among strangers. He may make me feel desolate, make my spirit sink, hide my
swelling,
future
hits you in the heart.
He knows what he is about.
So he's telling about the purpose, but at the same time, he says, I don't even know what it is, but whatever it is, I'll just go with it.
This is on how to deal with sorrow. So I guess at first I thought he was discussing himself, but I guess he's looked like he was reading an email. So dealing with sorrow, he's reading an email. He's probably received an email from a parishioner or something who lost a loved one, is feeling sad, depressed. And so it was just a chain of platitudes. I have a mission. I have a mission. No one else has it. In fact, actually, let's
maybe my pain serves the mission.
What's your
so let's actually pop through these a little bit here. Let's look at, thankfully there's some subtitles here so we can take a look at the subtitles. Theater mode, zoom, enhance. There we go. All right, I have a mission. I may never know it in this life.
You
Okay,
see, that's what I was saying. He doesn't even know.
yeah. So is that this person admitting that, hey, I am so confused about my existence that there must be something else beyond this that I don't understand yet? Is it just grasping at straws? I can see how people would feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have like, I mean, I'm a really fucking lucky guy. Like I have not experienced great loss in my life yet. Um, I grew up in a poor family, but I had parents that put my welfare in front of theirs and managed to get me through college. I was naturally computer savvy, so I got into a decent career. I now own my own home. Like I am lucky. I am way luckier than most. And I haven't had to deal with like sorrow or with tremendous loss or with like kind of life shattering events, at least not yet. Who knows what will happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I can imagine if, let's say, all of a sudden my family dies in a car accident, or all of a sudden I go bankrupt, or all of a sudden any number of things. I get hit with cancer. I don't know.
Yeah, something
I
like really big happens.
I can imagine all of a sudden thinking to myself like, oh, what can I get? What can I get out of this? Like, what is it all for? Why did this happen to me? There's got to be
Mm-hmm.
something more. Like you can imagine like your thoughts gravitating towards those types
Yeah.
of desperately gravitating towards those types of
Oh yes.
things, just for comfort,
Yeah.
just for the pure comfort of it. I can
Yeah.
imagine that, but
That feeling is what kept me believing and everything that I was taught in Jehovah's Witness, even when I was not in the church anymore.
yeah,
But I kept believing that because, well, I think I said this before, but not in your channel. My first baby, she died a few minutes after birth.
oh,
So I was very depressed for a long time. So
yeah,
having this thought that my pain has to mean something kept me in the religion for a
yeah,
long time,
yeah,
because I couldn't believe that what happened to me was for nothing.
yeah. I can. I think the way you worded it there was that my pain means something, like it
Yeah.
serves some purpose. Because if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't serve some purpose, that means it was pointless. It was random. It was,
Yeah.
it didn't serve anything, or there's nothing beneficial coming out of it. It's just pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. And the witnesses really prey on that too when it comes down
Yes.
to
Yes,
that,
because my hope was only, oh, I'm going to see her again,
Mhm.
because that's what I was told. I was like, you're going to see her
Yeah.
again.
They hijack the normal sorrow process, and they inject
Mhm.
the religion into it. Because
Mhm.
your loss isn't about you. Your loss is about the grander scheme of Jehovah's plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the whole thesis behind like the Gospel of Mark. Like Jesus is a suffering servant, and then on the cross he's like, "Oh my goodness, you've forsaken me. Why?" And then
Yeah.
the whole point is like, "Oh, it was actually God's plan for you to be crucified and killed because you're going to save the world." So it's kind of like we've taken that and inserted that type of thinking into every
Everything
tragedy that
lost.
happens in your life. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep on popping through this. A bond of connection between persons. He has not created me for naught. Like it's a lot of platitudes, and like I said, just kind of grasping for straws.
Yeah, like
I
I
shall do
have to
good.
be especially created for something.
Yeah, I shall be an angel of peace. I mean, this is basically. I mean, I feel whoever wrote this email, I feel for them. They probably are going through something
Yeah.
horrific in life, but
Mhm.
like just because you're going through something horrific in life doesn't mean you can just start inventing a future. You can't just start saying, because I could say, if I lost all my money tomorrow, like let's say, I don't know, I invested my money into TGIF, or the restaurant, and I lose it all,
Mhm.
like in the Spider-Man movie. In my sorrow, I can't just sit here and say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to win the lottery, or oh, tomorrow a rich benefactor is going to give me a lot of money.
A lot of money,
You
just
can't
because
just,
I wish for it.
yeah, you can't just go and just generate a new future. It's like you can't do that. You need to work for what you want. You need to go after for what you want. It's not going to be handed to you. Anyway, so a lot of other platitudes in here. If I'm in sickness, my sickness may serve him. So Alma, like what you just said there,
Mhm.
like my sickness, my pain must
My
mean
pain.
something. It must contribute to something, or else what is it for?
Mhm. Mhm.
My perplexity may serve him. My perplexity may serve him.
And
What's the
how?
what's the preceding? Hold on. What's the lead up? If I am in sickness, my sickness may serve him. In perplexity, my perplexity may serve him. So
I
basically,
don't see how.
if I'm confused, my confusion serves him. Yeah, just I feel for this person because I mean, he's being very poetic about things, but
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, whoever wrote this is going through something like it's really bad for them, like
What's your
maybe the
favorite prayer to
loss
say when?
Yeah.
of a family member. I don't know, something that was really bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's move on to happier things. I didn't mean for that to be a downer to the chat.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Sorry,
that was
everybody.
no, you
it's
suggested the
okay.
channel and I selected the short, so that's on me. So yeah, thanks Andrew. Oh yeah, Council of Trent. I think I listened to Council of Trent earlier today. I think it was Trent. It was Trent talking about Matt Dillahunty's walkout on one of his debates a couple months ago with that one asshole who was
Andrew
misgendering
Wilson.
Andrew
Yeah.
Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Trent, as he was describing it and talking about it, he then went to go ahead and basically deny Arden's expression of her gender. He misgendered her, and just went to be kind of an asshole along that. And like not maliciously, like he's obviously sticking to his values, but my opinion of him went down a bit after I was listening to that. I was like, yeah. Anyway, we'll subscribe to him anyway though, because he's got probably a lot of stuff we can look at. But anyway, I already watched Trent Horn today. I don't watch him again.
Yeah, we've talked about him a few times on my channel, and
yeah,
I'm really not a fan.
Yeah, which is a bummer because like he's very articulate, he's very soft spoken, like he has a good voice when it comes to this kind of stuff. But yeah, when I was listening to him today and I was hearing some of the stuff
It
he was
kind of
saying, I was
reminds
like,
me.
ugh.
Kind of reminds me sometimes to Joel Osteen.
Yeah,
Tries to be like kind of like wholesome guy.
Yeah, Joel Osteen really has he's got to dial down to a science the way he behaves.
Yeah.
For his parishioners. Yeah, he's dialed down to a science.
These are one of the more polite ones, like very well spoken, very professional, very like gentle. So
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, that's how you're going to attract flies with honey, right?
Yeah.
Like Greg Locke. Like Greg Locke's going to attract
the most fringe people.
He's going to attract the most fringe assholes, and that's going to limit his growth in the long term. Trent Horn, on the other hand, could say the same thing Greg Locke is saying, but just in a gentler voice, and he's going to attract way more people.
Oh, talking about Greg Locke, did you saw the debate he had with a guy with a flat earther?
I did. Yeah, there's already been some reviews about that. That was I didn't see the actual review. I watched I'm sorry, not the actual debate. I did who was reviewing it? I think Owen Morgan was reviewing it.
I'm not sure if Owen Morgan was reviewing it. I don't know where, but I did saw a review. I don't know where either, but yeah, it was.
I think it turned into like kind of a shit show at one point.
It did. You know that? Oh no! You know what Owen Morgan did show when, at the end, the flat Earth guy tried to shove the microphone into his face, into Greg Locke's face.
Oh man! Like normally I'm so used to watching certain debates where it's like an atheist versus a Christian or a flat earther versus a globe earther,
a scientist or
like a scientist versus a religious person, like just just not to be overly reductionist, but a skeptical, rational person versus somebody who's peddling spiritualism, woo, or just superstition. And so I'm always watching that, like kind of like that dichotomy, or those two positions that are at odds with each other. But that that Greg Locke debate with the flat earthers, like this is irrationality versus irrationality. And it's like two fire mages going at each other with with fire spells. It's like, oh, this is not really gonna work out very well.
Well, I was even surprised at myself because I saw it and I was like, I cannot believe that in this, I am thinking that Greg is the rational one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh man, I got to pick the lesser of two evils here. Like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I already have to do it during an American election. I don't have to do it here. Yeah. All right. So, Niddy, you suggested Brian Holdsworth. I recognize the face. This is like 21st century Jesus right here. Look at this guy.
Jesus. Yeah.
21st century Jesus. Oh man, yeah, he's totally leaning the Jesus thing. Yeah, he's very dapper. He's very well dressed. He's like a hipster Jesus.
He has 6 kids, so he's gonna like beat out the atheists just by having more children. Just
yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
That's like a evolution strategy.
The funny thing, like I gave that some thought. Like, yeah, okay, what if like I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Idiocracy. That's a politically motivated movie, but Idiocracy is basically in the future. I mean, the whole movie starts out with the dichotomy of the responsible couple getting together and saying, "Hey, we're only going to have kids when we're ready. We want to be really careful, and if we have a kid, we're only going to have one." And then it jumps to like this hillbilly couple. They're arguing and throwing things at each other, and they have like 8 kids in their house, and they're both idiots. And then it just jumps to the future where it's like, okay, what would happen if, these people never had kids, and we had a lot of like the kind of the uneducated types, the ones that like, just, what I'm talking about. They have a ton of kids. What would happen? And that's what Idiocracy is all about. And I thought about that too. And I'm not drawing a comparison between intelligence levels between atheists and Christians there. That was a strictly political movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, because you have lots of Christians, like especially like quiverful Christians, evangelicals in the U.S. are basically like, yeah, we're just going to outpopulate, we're just going to outpopulate everyone else and just take over via numbers. And when that whole thing started, when that whole movement started in like the 50s and 60s, excuse me, the internet hadn't been invented yet. So it might have been a good strategy, but unfortunately, the internet has swooped in and has given us all access to information. And that's part of the reason why I do this channel right here, is because I'm putting information out there, and anybody can go online, go watch some YouTube, go read some videos, or read some papers, take college classes away from the prying eyes of their pastor, away from the prying eyes of the looming grandmother or parental figure trying to keep their kids in the faith. Anybody can go online and watch this and do their own thinking in their own privacy of their own home, risk-free of any type of repercussions. And this goes into what I've said before, is that the internet is kryptonite for religion. So I welcome Christians to have as many kids as they want, because all those kids will be online and all those kids will be thinking for themselves eventually. So yeah. And if they want to stay in their religion, that's fine. And if not, then they have ways of figuring that out for themselves. Because yeah, if we didn't have the internet, we'd be in a completely different boat right now. Okay, let's take a look at what we got this. So we're approaching 2 hours here. We'll maybe go for another 15 minutes. I think did Niddy just bug out, or is he?
Yeah, Niddy said that he was tired.
He's oddly tired. Okay, yeah, it's late. It's late over there for him. I have it easy. I'm here on the Pacific Northwest, so like it's only 8:15 here for me.
Oh yeah, it is. I haven't noticed. What time is it here? Oh.
Yeah.
So it's 11:15 here where I'm at.
Yeah, me too.
We'll fly for another 15 or so minutes, and we'll wrap it up at around 2-hour mark. Suggestive clothes, inconsiderate. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Saucy. Let's take a look.
Pope Pius XII was instrumental in.
Wait, why do we go to Hitler's Pope?
Wow.
Didn't click.
Is this the same?
Well, no, I clicked it and went to
the clothes, and then suddenly, okay.
suggestive clothes, and consider it.
Suggestive clothes.
Nobody should have to worry or be fearful of the wandering eyes of strangers when they're out in public, and strangers shouldn't let their eyes wander to visions of intimacy with people that they aren't intimate with.
Okay, so he's referencing Jesus' words that, if any man looks upon a woman with lust, he's committing adultery in his heart, I think it is.
But also Jesus said that if you're having those thoughts, gouge your eyes out. So
Yeah, basically, like if your eye is preventing you from entering the kingdom of heaven, you should gouge it out. If your hand is preventing you, you should also cut it off. So he basically said that everybody has the right to not be viewed upon in public. Is that kind of what he was getting at? And no one should be viewing at others with lust.
like nobody should viewing you.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to worry or be.
Sorry.
I think it's going to put the blame on women because, like, nobody should have to watch you because you are dressing like a.
You know what I think? When I look at this guy, I think, this is so easy, even a caveman could do it.
He does look like remember
remember those ads?
Yeah, those cavemen. They tried to make that into a sitcom. Those cavemen.
Oh, really?
I think they made like an episode or two, and then they said, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, now they're doing religious podcasts.
Oh my God. Or Bill Pullman, the caveman lawyer. Remember that? Yeah. Okay, let's move on from the beginning so we can I can pause it properly.
Let's see how women are inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to worry or be fearful of the wandering eyes of strangers when they're out in public, and strangers shouldn't let their eyes wander to visions of intimacy with people that they aren't intimate with. But if
so, don't look at anyone. Nobody look at anyone in public. Everyone walk around with their eyes down.
Okay.
Because I don't care what you wear, someone's going to look at you with lust. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Societal norms are such that it's
that's the nicest compliment I've had all week.
What's that, James?
So that's the nicest compliment I've had all week. Thanks.
But if societal norms are such that it's normal or even expected that women should embrace their sexuality by dressing in revealing clothing, then that ends up restricting the freedom of those who do not wish to be participating in that expression of sexuality.
So I am restricting your freedom by wearing like a tank top.
Holy shit! Yeah, he basically
Alma,
said,
you're making me lust. You are making me lust.
Damn. I'm so sorry.
Your choice of clothes restricts my freedoms to remain without lustful thought. That's what he just said.
Okay.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start with that there.
I mean, that's very Sharia law kind of thinking.
It absolutely is. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to get an umbrella or something on top of me so nobody can see me.
Yeah, and come back with a less provocative cartoon avatar as well.
But think of the absurdity of that is that I have a right to not have these thoughts. You are giving me these thoughts, therefore you're violating my rights. Like I could turn around and say, I have the right to not have to process constant bullshit around me.
Yes.
And you there, Mr. Brian Holdsworth,
putting it out there.
Are putting bullshit out there and making me think about it. So you're
Right.
violating my rights to not think about bullshit.
He's doing it the other way around too, so that if you have imaginings about him, for example, you're involving him in your fantasy, even if he doesn't know about it, you're wronging him somehow, right? You're committing the stalk crime against him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so ridiculous. Like that's the thing. Like when it comes to rights, like rights are a man-made concept. Rights are granted by governments and by men or mankind to other members of mankind.
Yeah.
So it's like this. Rights are not God-given. There's no layout of rights in the Bible. There's not even a mention of rights in the Bible. There wasn't even a concept back then. He's taking he's taking a modern concept and trying to retrofit it in the Bible, and then use it to restrict the actions of other people.
It's not even using it correctly because, like we mentioned before, Jesus said that you stop yourself. You have to stop yourself. It doesn't say, "Oh, you have to stop them from enticing you."
Yeah. And the funny thing too is like he's basically putting his rights of his mind above the rights of what other people can actually physically do in the world.
Right.
Because if you look at it, thoughts are just patterns of electrical impulses in your brain, right? So like right now I'm thinking of Pikachu. My brain has a certain state where I'm thinking of Pikachu from Pokemon. I'm now thinking about murdering somebody in Grand Theft Auto in a video game. That's a different set of electrical impulses in my brain. He's saying that I have a right to not experience this set of electrical impulses, whereas other electrical impulses in my sets of electrical impulses in my brain are harmless, or I have the right to, or I basically he's like saying that there's different brain states and I have a right to not experience certain brain states. And the actual physical actions of somebody else must be restricted so that my brain isn't put into the state that is undesirable according to him. Like he's prioritizing certain brain patterns over the physical actions of other people.
Right.
And it's absurd.
It's absurd and unfair, but also it's self-defeating. Because what happens is if you live in a society, a bubble in a society where there's these safe zones where everybody's restricted in terms of what they can say and how they can behave and how they can dress, how they can speak. What happens is it lowers your threshold over time. So, for example, if you're in an Amish community and you're showing some shoulder, that's incredibly provocative, right?
Yeah.
So it makes you more and more vulnerable to the mind states that you're trying to avoid. It becomes easier and easier for other people to provoke those mind states. And so in response, these communities say, well, put even more clothes on, be even less attractive, right? Next thing you know, you're wearing a big cloth garbage bag.
Yeah. I was actually about to say, like, in a lot of cases when like somebody suggests something as dumb as he's talking about right here, it's easy to say, oh, well, if you suggest that, then we're going to slippery slope into this extreme. But in this case, we actually have a concrete example of the extreme this is taken to, and that's with Sharia law, and that's with not hijabs. What's the full covering?
The hijab?
Is that a hijab?
Yeah,
Burqa.
the hijab.
Burqas, yeah.
Burqas?
No, I think a hijab is just a head covering.
Oh, the hijab is just a cover in the head.
The burqa is basically the Among Us like spacesuit with the
yeah, kind of like I don't
Right.
only your eyes. And you know that they have another one that also the eyes are covered. Like because some women have like very pretty eyes, so
yeah, we wouldn't want that.
The only way this makes sense, like the only form of sympathy I have for this is like these people feel, even I still to this day feel guilty when you lust after someone. So it's kind of like they feel like so guilty. It's a negative experience. So these people dressing provocatively are technically in the eyes of the man who's lusting, giving them that guilt. But the guilt is really because of the doctrine. But that's not how they see it. It's I feel guilty, so you're giving me this guilt, this shame.
I think this is the reason why a lot of people that are anti-gay want gay people to pretend not to be gay, to don't.
Oh yeah, they stay in the closet
because they keep being turned on by gay dudes and thinking, oh look, you're making me have the gay thoughts, right? And it's
they feel guilty, so like it's like okay, now let's make them feel guilty.
Yeah. In the meantime, they live in this bubble universe, not just in terms of a safe zone, but self-defeating. When they go outside that bubble, because they have to travel, they have to go places and do things sometimes. And what's going to happen is, while they're in their bubble, it lowers their threshold of vulnerability for those mind states. Then they leave the bubble to do necessary business or optional business, travel, whatever. And now they're exposed to all kinds of things that they have no resistance to. And it makes it to where the problem is like tenfold. In the meantime, if you look at some countries, like parts of Africa and other places, people walk around basically naked, right? And so they've shown that it works the opposite way. If you don't restrict what people can wear, your sensitivity to exposure to visual things like that goes down to where you can be around a bunch of naked people and not have any sexual thoughts about it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So if he
it's also all linked with the purity culture. And And most of the time they say that purity culture harms women because the bubble and where they put it, but also this is the part that also harms men because it makes them feel guilty just for thinking something, and they have to not to feel that interest on anybody or just being secretive about it.
Yeah.
Like just pretend and try
Right.
to say, oh no, it's not my fault that I'm feeling this way, it's her fault. So
Right. And so they're perpetuating these social environments where they keep recycling shame between each other. A lot of it doesn't even get said out loud. And then the churches themselves that create this environment capitalize on it. They take advantage of the fact that all these young people, especially, are crippled with shame by offering to sell you the cure to the problem that they caused in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you're evil just for being who you are. Like lust is a natural part of the human body, and now that is sinful. So basically, I'm sinful in the very core of my. So it kind of like adds unnecessary suffering.
Right. So in the meantime, just one more thing, just indulge me just a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah, no, go ahead.
When Jesus supposedly said this about if you look at a woman with lust in your heart, you've committed sin. The idea there is if you have a thought where you spend this moment, even if it's a fleeting moment, where there's an idea of something that you're attracted to, that you're drawn to, that you really want to do the thing that you're not supposed to do, but then you don't actually follow through physically, you've already committed the sin in your mind and your heart, therefore you've already committed the sin. Well, this doesn't jive with the idea of the 3 tests of Jesus from Satan, because in all 3 of those tests, he experiences these mind states that you're not supposed to experience. And he doesn't act on them, but he experiences them exactly as we would. It even says that. Yeah. So according to, I think it's Matthew and Hebrews are the 2 opposite books about this. One says if you even think and feel these things in a moment, you committed the sin. But the other book says Jesus felt those sin states in all 3 of the tests, which means Jesus failed the tests. Yeah. He failed them. He didn't pass them.
If thoughts are sins, then Jesus sinned.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good observation.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like and just the absurdity of just the kind of the mind control this teaching is trying to exert over people is it's just so bizarre to me. It's like I was talking about brain states earlier. It is literally just patterns of electrical impulses through your brain. Like thinking of one thing is a certain pattern, thinking of another is a certain pattern. And I could sit here and I could for the entire day just constantly think of just the most obscene, heinous atrocities, crimes, violations that could be committed against another person. I could sit here and think all day about me doing these things to other people. And if I never once act on it, where's the harm? Like nothing came out of it. No one got hurt. It was never expressed in the outside world. I was just experiencing certain brain states. And a Christian might come in and say, oh, you thought about these things. You thought about murdering this person. You thought about having sex with somebody who wasn't your wife. Like, and those are sins. Like somehow God was offended by the pattern of electricity that was going through your brain at the time is just absurd. Of course, they put in, like, oh, you have a soul and your soul's experiencing these things and all that stuff. And we can go into, whether they can demonstrate that or not. But anyway, okay. B.S. Lewis, he mentioned something earlier. Oh, here we go. I bet Jay's is already naked. He's a wild guy.
You've been trolling me in chat. I love him.
Yeah. I think a panel should just James' hypothesis. So actually, that reminded me of a video that I'm going to show here really quick. It's very brief, but it might look something like this.
Perhaps there's some girls in here. Great heavens! It's one of those nude female fire stations. Oh, I'd always be second place to some kitten stuck in a tree. Let's go, Smithers. Smithers?
why it jumped to this, I don't know. But anyway, okay.
Right. So
But
anyway,
this,
yeah.
but this is exactly what this guy is doing. It's like he's crying because somebody else is doing something and he's thinking naughty thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't accept responsibility for it. And the irony is, if we lived in a world where everybody was naked all the time, it would fix the problem. He would no longer have that sensitivity over time, and he'd quit thinking all the thoughts and feeling guilty about it. At least within the confines of the trigger, right? He wouldn't have that trigger anymore. He'd be desensitized to it.
It seems like the only person actually being harmed is the deity above. It seems like he's the only one who's hurt by your thoughts because he's the only one who actually knows about the thoughts.
But here's the thing, though. How can a deity be hurt by anything?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, he's not supposed to be hurt.
How can a pattern of electricity through my literal head hurt anything outside, especially an immortal, omnipotent deity? Like, how can that possibly be? It hurts his feelings?
Yeah.
Like
You make Jesus cry.
yeah, it makes Jesus. All right, well, let's
No,
wrap up.
It's also the same, I don't know if you have seen the Caleb and Sophia cartoons. There is one cartoon where it says that Caleb has a toy and he has to throw it away because if it doesn't, he's going to hurt Jehovah's feelings.
Oh yeah, that Owens covered that so much.
Yeah.
Sparlock, the magic wizard.
The magic wizard,
yeah.
Yeah.
Having a plastic figurine in your hand hurts Jehovah's feelings.
Right. Yeah, I remember my mom wanted me to burn all my D&D stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? She's like, because in D&D, you're capable of doing things in this imaginary world that Jehovah wouldn't approve of. Therefore, we must destroy it immediately. And I'm like, wait a minute. We live in an entire world where everybody's capable of doing things that Jehovah wouldn't approve of. By your logic, shouldn't we hurry up, go outside, and burn it all down right now?
Yeah.
I'm like, how's that work?
Yep. Tilting Windmill just popped in and said, hey, all, just your average lurker here. Came after tonight's football game. Starting the stream from the beginning, just wanted to say hi to SNS and all before I dip out of chat. Well, thanks, Tilting. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think this is the first time I've seen you in a chat. So yeah, welcome. Thanks for being a viewer. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's finish this up. So we were talking about he's bitching.
His rights about not.
He's bitching about his rights to not have to experience certain thoughts. That's
okay.
Talk about freedom of thought, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of mobility as intrinsic rights. But what about
freedom of thought is not freedom from thought. Like I'm like if somebody says, hey, I don't want to talk about something, but I mention it anyway, I'm not violating anybody's rights. I'm not by putting something in your head by what I say, I'm not violating your rights.
Yeah.
It's ironic because he's not free to have thoughts. If he cannot have thoughts about other women. So it's ironic because like there's a law restricting his lust.
That image to show lust.
Yeah. I think Richard could use a lesson in civics.
about the freedom to be able to open your eyes and not have someone else's attempt at making a provocative statement about their body imposed on your field of vision?
Imposed on your field of vision.
God.
Oh man.
You molested my eyes.
You molested my
From across the room, you molested me with your
that
beautiful
cleavage.
body.
Safe space. Safe space.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh man, this was a good find. Just like we've been on this short now for probably what? We're 5 minutes over when I was saying when I wanted to end the stream.
Yeah.
We've been here for like 25 minutes talking about a 60-second clip. This is a gold mine here.
Yeah.
I might become a Brian Holdsworth specialist because this was a pretty good find. Good
I have
job.
molested eyes. Oh
This
my
was
God.
This was Niddy's? Yeah, Niddy. This was his recommendation.
Niddy's
So
suggestion.
I want to point out that the imagery that he's showing in this video have been molesting my eyes. They're making me think things I don't want to think.
Yeah.
How ironic is that?
How dare you? How dare you, Brian? Show me that sexy beard and those luscious locks of yours.
I know,
Jesus
right?
Christ! Like, yeah, it's a good thing I'm not in the room with you right now because I might just lose control, and it's your fault if I lose control.
Doesn't he have an open button on his shirt? There's one of
You're
the buttons
right.
isn't even closed.
Yes.
You're
How
right.
dare he?
Oh man.
Now I'm going to dream about that button.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, you know, I'm going to dream about that guy that is in the picture.
Yeah. All these
Because he
AI
looks-
generated images.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to dream
Against
about
your
that.
will, Alma.
Against my
your will.
Yeah.
Why did he's got two AI generations of the same image, but why is he showing both of these?
All right.
It's literally 1 second. Why is he flipping between?
Imposed on your field of
Oh, it's
vision.
multiple.
Oh.
Still.
Nobody.
Oh my god, that last frame was.
He's imposing that on my field of
Look
vision.
at that
How dare
eye.
he?
Look at his eye on that last frame.
Yeah.
That is definitely Mid-Journey because probably back when this was made. When was this made? 2 months ago. Yeah, Mid-Journey is not so great with eyes. When you go to Mid-Journey and you generate an image, you in the command to generate the image, you need to specifically tell it, I want you to use the latest model. Because if you use older models, man, the eyes do not look good. Like, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Richard, bro, get off of YouTube because you're giving me some. I'm straight, and you're giving me moral thoughts here, dude. Yeah. So, okay. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll call it a night. But before we do that, let's catch up on chat. Who's here and who's still talking? Who's hung in here this whole time? BS Lewis, you came in late. You don't count. Philly, you were here for a while. Tell me more. You came in late. You don't count. But hey, love to have you here anyway. Thank you so much. I want to see who's the true believer. Alma, you've been here ever since the beginning. So I think you win the contest there. I'm looking for other people recent. Yeah, I think Alma. I think Niddy bugged out.
Niddy,
You came in next. James came in next. So James, yeah, you, James, and Andrew, the people in this chat, and me, people in this chat, we're the strong ones.
Nice.
We are the strong ones. So yeah, kudos. All right, let's do one more. Let's give it to the audience this time. Anybody in the audience have not an obvious one? Like, don't give me like William Lane Craig or Frank Turek. Even though I should add them to my subscriptions list, I absolutely will. Anybody in the audience knows of a Christian apologist that would be like a gold mine that I could like exploit for views? Because that's what I'm here for.
You see that it puts you another one? Then don't look. The first one that is giving you right now.
The case from Modest Clothing.
I think it's a longer video, but
yeah, it's a 10-minute video. If we were to start talking about this video, we'll be here for 5 hours.
Forever.
Which might be a really good thing for another stream. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to I'll just bookmark it. Block element. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and just bookmark it. Bookmark. My bookmark tab, like my bookmark panel doesn't show unless it's a new tab, which is really weird lately. Like, so I need to like enable bookmark, show bookmark bar. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. And now I can save it. Oh, it's not even let me save. What the heck? All right, fine. I'm gonna put this bookmark aside. I'll get it later. Vesper says inspiring philosophy. Yeah, he's kind of I think of all the apologists, I think inspiring philosophy is probably the least offensive. And offensive is a bad word to use. Like, I would not mind sitting down having a beer with him. Like, he seems fairly cool. Gary Habermas. Gary Habermas is releasing a book here in a day and a half. Part 1 of 4 of his magnum opus, apparently. So I'm interested in hearing Apologia read it because I'm not going to read that thing. Okay, so let's get inspiring philosophy in here. We're not going to look at any of his videos because we know what he says already. But I'll go ahead and subscribe. Like, absolutely put him in there.
I remember when he was on Misvision and admitted that he's never had a personal experience with Jesus or with God.
He just trusts that other people have.
Right.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded, if you watched, and I really want to go find that clip, where you can, if you watch him talk about it, he gets depressed for a moment. Like you can just see it in his heart. Like he's just, it's like, Daddy never hugged me. And I almost felt bad for the guy. It reminded me of this moment from The Simpsons where Lisa broke Milhouse's heart. And
when you
if you watch it in slow,
yes,
you watch it in slow motion, you see the exact moment his heart breaks. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Like this feels like a low blow. I mean, like he's experiencing a genuine emotion.
Sure.
But I guess we're more laughing at just the lack of self-awareness. I guess like is he at all entertaining the idea that, hey, maybe this isn't real that I'm advocating for because I haven't felt this yet.
His YouTube channel is too successful for him to think that. He makes a lot of money.
That's true. Like it also kind of reminded me, because you're like a Star Trek fan and too, right? So it reminded me of how Kai Wynn, the prophets never talked to Kai Wynn.
Oh yeah. So don't spread that I'm a Star Trek fan, please. I mean, right. Kai Wynn. So for those of you who don't know, in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, I'm going to a nerd rant here. Kai Wynn is a religious leader, and she is an extremely ambitious, cutthroat religious leader. It's like the religion and politics are kind of like intertwined on her planet, and she is super duper cutthroat and ambitious. And she's not above like manipulating people into committing suicide and murder to advance her goals.
Mm-hmm.
But she still believes in the religion. She still believes in the gods that they supposedly believe in on their planet. And she actually makes the comment that the prophets are their gods. The prophets have never visited me. But here's the thing, though. In the Star Trek universe, the prophets are very real. They are real beings or aliens inside of a wormhole. But she's never been visited by them. And the point is, she does not take that fact and then self-reflect on it. She continues on her path of ambition and of later on, straight up murder and betraying her people and she's just a descent into hell, like almost literally with her character.
Okay.
But like with Inspiring Philosophy, what's his name? Michael Jones. Yeah, Michael Jones. Michael Jones will never listen to this because I'm a small time YouTuber.
Sure.
But if you've never heard God speak to you, interact with you, if you've never been filled with the Holy Spirit, if you have not had that personal revelation and other people have, then there's 3 things that could possibly explain this. Maybe more, but 3 come to my mind. One is your God's not real, and the other people reporting the things are mistaken, which is what I subscribe to. The second one is your God doesn't like you. Your God wants you to spin in that doubt and spin in that want and that need for it, but he's just not giving it to you for whatever reason. And the third one is that some other God is looking upon you and not liking what you're doing. Those are the 3 that come off the top of my head. There might be more options there, but those are probably the 3 most likely ones. And I think the very top one is basically your God that you think is real is not real. And you're latching on to the reports of other people that you cannot verify, you cannot confirm, you cannot test. You're just simply accepting them at their word and ignoring the possibilities, the very natural, realistic possibilities of hallucination, delusion, false memories, groupthink, things like that. Yeah. How we get down this? Yeah, we were talking about him, his channel. But yeah, I mean, like, take that and reflect on it. Don't be like Kai Wynn in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Think about it. Okay. I'll get off my high horse here. I feel here's the thing, like of all the Christian apologists, Inspiring Philosophy, Michael Jones, I like him the most. I would love to sit down and have a beer with him and chat with him. He seems like just a cool, genuine, nice guy, unless there's videos of him that I've never seen that will prove me wrong.
There are. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay. Yeah, don't ruin my rose-colored
Right.
glasses of Michael Jones. I mean, of all the, I like him. Like I like him a lot. And I don't want to kick him when he's in this emotional state here, but take the opportunity to really look at what the possible explanations of this could be. Does your God not want to talk to you? Does your God not like you? Maybe your God doesn't exist. Anyway, let's keep on going. I said we're going to do one more, and I got into a rant, so I'm sorry about that. 2 minutes or 2 hours and 16 minutes. Yeah, we got one more. Muslim Cowboy? Is that really a thing?
He's an actual Muslim apologist on
Is
YouTube.
that even possible? Well,
Muslim Cowboy. The Muslim Cowboy. What?
Assalamu alaikum. Howdy, everybody. Some of you might know me as.
Oh, you have a 10-minute intro video? I'm not watching that.
yeah, no.
We're going to your short.
He has a short.
It should be a short. I'm sorry. You go to my channel, my intro video is 60 seconds, I think. Like, no one's going to sit around and watch that. All right. Oh, man. I don't know where to start here. So, like, I have Muslims make up 1% of the population in the United States. And the United States is my target audience. Like, I'm not really looking to talk to, well, I would love to talk to anybody I can, but like, I'm going to stick with what I know. I know Christianity and I know the United States. So my target audience is in the US. There's lots of other channels that very adequately and very professionally spread skepticism to other parts of the world, and I fully support them. I want to stick with what I know. So I'm not too keen on Muslim apologists, but I do have a desire to learn more about it so I can talk to them more often. But anyway, so we'll look at this. We'll pick one here and we'll kind of look at it. But I guess what I'm saying is basically, if I click on one of these, I'm going to be at very much a disadvantage because I do not know very much about the Muslim religion. I know a few core details about the origin of the Quran, you know, the circumstances around it being written, a bit about the hadiths, I think.
Hadiths, yeah, hadiths.
Yeah, kind of what their purpose is and all that. And I know a few Muslim scriptures, but other than that, I'm extremely limited on my knowledge of this. So I won't be able to comment very intelligently about this.
This atheist said Allah was evil and is humiliated.
Oh.
Where is it at? Oh wait, where is it?
Where is it?
Yeah. The atheist said Allah was evil and humiliated. I love it when somebody prefaces it with the, like, I'm sure I've done it plenty of times, the Christian, the
Humiliation,
Muslim.
destroy it in 5 seconds or something.
All right, let's do this. Video.
Allah is perfect, but then he creates an imperfect world. Doesn't that make him imperfect?
No.
That was a quick answer. I mean, I appreciate the blunt, quick answer. I really wish I would get that from some of the people I talk to, like, you know, CBAS.
Yeah, most of the people that listen,
Wesley.
You're asking a yes or no question, and they're like, "Oh no, but let me tell you."
Yeah, I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way to somehow enforce a yes or no. Like I'm fine with bloviation and I'm fine with elaboration after the answer. But anyway, I'm getting off another tangent. Let's go and watch this.
Because the argument itself is flawed. So Allah actually didn't create an imperfect world. What is happening here is that the words perfect, this is equivocal fallacy, the fallacy of equivocation. Allah perfectly created everything as he willed it to be created, and nothing.
Okay, so he's trying to frame it as there's two definitions of perfect here. One is the one that applies to Allah, and the one that applies to everything else. Is what it sounds like. This is very similar to the contention around the Christian God's creation of everything, because the Christian God is perfect, which the Christian God is Allah according to, Islam. But Allah is not the Christian God according to Christianity, because it's not backwards compatible. So Christian God created everything, created it perfectly. It was good. but then something went horribly wrong. But it's not God's fault. It's something else's fault. But
Yeah.
anything else that could possibly be at fault is part of God's creation. So it's this weird double standard of, hey, God created something and it's perfect, but when something that God created goes and messes it up, that's not God's fault. That's the creation's fault. But the creation isn't the creation the responsibility of God.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like he's kind of going the same way here.
Is created other than as he willed it. Everything that exists and everything the way it is exactly as it was intended by Allah. So therefore, out of his perfection, nothing occurs or has happened except other than as he understands it and as he has willed.
Logically, for me, it follows that Allah intended it for evil. He created evil, therefore he is evil.
No, this is an equivocation fallacy.
So again, he's trying to use the same word for two different things, but here's the thing, though. Okay, if there's a perfect that applies to Allah and there's a perfect that applies to the creation, and they're two different things, you need to be using two different words. You need to be like call it schmurfic. I don't care. Like, you need to differentiate the language if you're talking about two different concepts. Because if you're using the same word, if you're using the same word for both, then that allows you to do a lot of really tricky stuff.
Right.
Like for example, love. I like the idea of the Greek. I like the idea of the Greek language when it comes to love. The Greeks had 8 different words for love. They had words for brotherly love, love of mankind, erotic love, love for inanimate objects. 8 different words. Humans have one word. I love pizza. I love my wife. I loved that movie. I love being alive. Like, when you have that type of what's a good word for it? When you lack that type of granularity in your language, a lot of weird tricks can occur, and Christians use that quite a lot. They'll say God is perfect, his creation is perfect, but when his creation goes off the rails, that's not because of it being imperfect, it's because of somebody else or something in the creation not being perfect. But then perfect means two different things. It's hey, CBAS is back. Yeah, it's like it's navigating the murkiness of language in order to play little tricks on people and
mental
get around
sleight
these
of hand.
arguments. Yeah, sleight of hand, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Just because a baker bakes a cake does not make the baker the cake. I mean, this is very simple.
How does that even apply?
Right.
That doesn't even.
Atheists have a lot of
Yeah, how's it even apply? Oh, this guy here. It just auto-played in a different video.
Oh, okay.
What's his name? Redeemed Zoomer. This dude has gotten a crazy amount of subscribers in a really short amount of time. Like, there's something about him that just Christians really like. But anyway, we're going to go into that later. Cool. Yeah. So CBAS is back. What does he have to say? You'll never find the truth until you humble yourself. I was very humble back when I was a Christian, and yeah,
And didn't help at
truth
all.
eluded me. Hold on, I'm gonna kill the. There we go. Let's go back here. Bam. You imagine yourself smarter than your Lord? Yeah, I do imagine myself smarter than things.
Yeah,
that
I am.
exist.
I am smarter than the especially the one in the Bible.
Nobody can remove the scales upon your eyes, but only you have the ability to open your eyes. So, Christ, CBAS, what does that even mean? Open my eyes? Like, feel free to tell us in chat. What do you mean by opening your eyes? Because obviously it's not literal, because my eyes are literally open right now. What are we opening what up to? Like, I want to know.
So I think I know what he means.
I think I know what he means too, but I want him to say it.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know if he's still here or not. But anyway,
it was only 3 minutes ago.
Using Orion.
What's that?
It's only 3 minutes.
I think it's interesting that he's using Orion, which belongs to another different mythology.
So CBAS, you just repeated what you just said in the previous message. I'm asking you, what does it mean? I have eyes that cannot see. What does that mean? This is poetry, and it doesn't
Doesn't mean anything.
communicate. It doesn't communicate anything useful to us. Anywho, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's been 2.5 hours. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Niddy went to bed, and I'm still getting used to the whole like extemporaneous live streaming thing. So this has been very fun. I'm going to go through and I'm going to select more Christian apologists and like kind of like flesh out this list, and then I'm going to start using it for more live streams. Should we really engage CBAS more here? All right, one more time. Let's see if he listened to what I said and said something new.
No.
You are blinded by your eyes. You're repeating yourself, and that sentence doesn't even make sense. I'm blinded by my eyes. That's like, I don't understand. The sun's reflection is all you see. You cannot see what is invisible. CBAS, CBAS, buddy, bro. I asked you this when we talked last time. I was like, if you care about my immortal soul, if you care about all the souls here, and literally all the people who are going to watch this live stream later on, this is not how you convince anyone of anything. This does not help at all. So either you only care about feeling good about yourself for saying these things, or you actually care about us, in which case I would hope you would figure out to communicate better with us. This is not helping at all.
Yeah.
I am not responsible for your inability to understand. I am begging you to more clearly communicate your ideas to us. I'm literally saying, hey, you're being very unclear. We're not sure what you're saying. Please clarify. I am literally asking you to just simply clarify your statements.
Yeah.
Help us with clarification.
Yeah, that actually is your job. Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is kind of your job, since you have come here and tried to teach us. Yep.
Jesus said, go forth and make disciples of all the nations.
Mm-hmm.
You have the opportunity to do that right now with some clarification on a few things.
Christ brings us order. It's like if I start to speaking to you in Spanish and then say I'm not responsible for your inability to understand.
I've noticed this as a pattern. So CBAS, you're absolutely fitting the pattern of what I've seen with other apologists, other Christians. When somebody asks you for clarification, instead of clarifying, you accuse them of being deficient with a complete lack of self-awareness. CBAS, I will tell you right now, you are deficient at communicating your ideas to other people. You are lacking something that other people have, and that is to clearly communicate your ideas to others in a way to make them understand, in a way to help them. I'm literally begging you to clarify sentences, and all you do is either repeat them or then accuse me of not understanding for whatever reason, whether I'm stupid or I'm blind or I'm ignorant or I'm stubborn. I don't know. But I am literally begging you to clarify your statements. Like if I say, hey, CBAS, watch out, your life is in danger. CBAS, you might say, hey, can you clarify? Why is my life in danger? CBAS, because you're about to walk in front of a car. Like, I clarify. I give you more information. I give you something new to work on and to use. And you're not doing anything that for us. Instead, you just accuse me of being closed-minded.
Yeah.
All right, one more, and then we're done. You've been told the gospel, and you've rejected it, and you'll never change. And so why should the Lord care if he kills your murderous souls? All right, so CBAS.
If her kills your... Who is she?
Every time
the Lord is a she?
Every time I say this is it, CBAS says something that's just so profoundly out there.
Nothing.
Like it just, I don't know.
He just threatened us.
It's like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Like I just can't stop. Oh man, this is
I can
great.
just see him working in a fortune cookie shop where he gets to write all the fortunes. And people
Yes.
are like, what the hell does this mean? I don't even know.
So CBAS, all right, I'm going to ask you a very simple question, CBAS. Okay, you have been told the Gospels and you've rejected it and you will never change. And so why should the Lord care if he kills your murderous souls? CBAS, as far as you know, I have never killed anyone. And if I had, I obviously wouldn't admit it. But here's the thing, okay? Your next message in chat, CBAS, what's your confidence level as a percentage that I have been told the gospel, I have rejected it, I will never change, and I'm a murderous soul? What's your confidence
Oh,
level?
I have another question.
Yeah, I see it, but I want him to answer my question first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Confidence level, CBAS, that I fit all those things.
He's probably not going to give you a real answer.
I doubt it.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So he has
No,
absolute
that's not an
confidence that I am
answer.
all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. CBAS, so I'm going to go back to the question here. CBAS, how can you possibly know any of these things? Are you omniscient? Did God tell you these things? How do you know
Do
I've
you
been told the
live under my
gospel?
bed?
Yeah. Like, is my house bugged? Like, how can you possibly make these declarations with any type of confidence? I guess my next question too would be, what would lower your confidence? What can I say to you, CBAS? What can I say to you to lower your confidence down to 99%? Is there anything I could possibly say to you to lower your confidence to 99%?
Family,
I'm really
good luck.
curious.
Fast. I gotta head out. It's been a
Okay.
pleasure.
All right, Andrew, you have a good night.
Bye, Andrew.
Talk to you soon.
This is not what I wanted to turn this live stream into.
Yeah, it's all good.
I don't know. It's like it's almost like it's like your, I don't know, what's a good analogy for this? I don't want to call it a dumpster fire. I don't want to call it talking to an alien. It's like I interact with so many people on a daily basis, especially for my work and in my past. Like it's almost like when you hold a pen and you drop it and it falls down.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it's like interacting with people every day. I hold a pen, I drop it, and it falls down. CBAS, I hold a pen and it falls up. It's like, whoa, like what world? What, like, how are we so different with the way we interact with
Yeah.
people, and how are we so different with the way we take other people at their word and we engage with them in honest conversation? Like, I can't imagine talking to a Christian apologist or talking to a Christian in general, and because they aren't agreeing with me, I then start accusing them of motivations. I start accusing them of having a hard heart, or I start pretending to know that I know what they're thinking.
What are they
That
thinking?
that's it's so bizarre to me. It's almost alien. Like, how can I possibly know what another person is thinking? How can I
Yeah,
possibly know what their motivation is? Yeah.
that's a tactic that I have seen with, Ray Comfort. He does a lot. Like, that God exists. Like, no, I don't.
So CBAS, tell me, what would lower your confidence in that to 99%? What could I possibly say to lower your confidence from 100% to 99%? Because if you can't give me anything, then you obviously are not wanting to engage us in any type of conversation. You're just here to just spout your nonsense. One more comment from him, and then we'll end it because it's 2.5 hours now, and I'm ready to go to the bathroom. I've had 2 gigantic ass beers, and I've been sitting here for almost 3 hours now.
Yeah.
Do I have to say Jesus is Lord? I would have to be convinced of Jesus' existence first
Yeah.
to even
No,
consider that
the
statement.
CBAS comment was like, "You should be happy. I'm not your judge. I am only a witness." So he's saying that he's better judge than God.
Can you imagine CBAS as a judge, like literally a judge in a courtroom in our state, and like there's testimony being given, and he just completely ignores it and starts accusing people of motivation.
Yeah. No, but
Like-
you know
like
what
imagine-
he's saying right here? He's saying that he's better judge than God.
Oh, that's a good point too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. CBAS, that's a great question. That's a great point you brought up out there, Alma. If God really cares about honesty, like let's say let's pretend for just a moment that I am being completely honest. Let's say I'm completely wrong about my position. Let's say I'm 100% wrong. God is real. God is actually Jehovah or Yahweh or whatever you want to call it. The Christian God is real. The Bible is true, and all those things. Let's say that I am completely wrong about all the positions that I hold, yet I am completely honest with the way I came to those wrong conclusions. Will a God judge me for coming to the wrong conclusions honestly, while literally begging you, CBAS, for guidance, for clarification, for all this, for help? I'm begging you for help, and you refuse to give it. You just want to accuse, and you just want to assign motive. You want to pretend you can read my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And God's viewing you for the way you're approaching this. I'm honestly coming to bad conclusions, and you are refusing to help me. Who is God going to frown on more, me or you? Your God.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a God of justice and a God of fairness, I don't think that equation works out in your favor, CBAS. But that's just me. I'm just a sinner. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have another live stream on Wednesday. So I think I'm settling on Wednesday live streams at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. That will be my Christian call-in live stream chat.
Yeah.
Every time.
I plugged you at Myth Vision, by the way, today.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. Yeah, thank you.
I tried to drop the link there in the chat. The links weren't working right today, but I dropped a link and told people, because there was people wanting to argue and debate with Derek, and I'm like, this is not the place for that.
Yeah.
If you want that, go over to Skeptics and Scoundrels. Here's the link. They'll be happy to talk to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't promote myself in other people's streams, but I don't prevent other people from doing that. So if you ever want to go out and plug me, that's fine. I'm not going to get in the way of that. But I appreciate that. I really do.
What hits me the heaviest was CBAS says there would be nobody left if I were the judge. Nobody.
Yeah.
Think about how dark
that's
that is.
blasphemy. That's blasphemy right there.
Nobody left. No Christians at all. Right? He'd kill the Christians too. And I'm like, man, that's a lonely place to be psychologically.
Yeah.
That's a place of pain. That's what that is.
Yeah. I guess I don't want to get more into that. But
no.
Let's CBAS take this away with you. Ask yourself if you're having any real impact on anything. And if your answer is no, ask yourself why. Because you haven't convinced me, Alma or James, and I'm pretty sure you haven't convinced anyone else in the chat with this type of rhetoric.
Yeah.
But anyway. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I am going to go to sleep. So
all right, good. Have a great night, guys.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Bye.